You are listening to the John Lovitz Vodcast Network.
It's the Craig Shoemaker Show with Craig Shoemaker, Sarah Sweet, and Joel Geist.
You're listening to Craig Shoemaker, America.
Who did this to you? Kira Sultanovich is our guest.
You are the love master. But don't you have like 17 kids?
I have another one on the way.
Stop it.
I swear to God,
Dude,
a girl.
you need to pull out. We get it. You're fertile.
We have Eric Griffin is here. I'm glad you're here. Why don't you co-host every week? Male co-host.
First of all, I'm looking around, and I need to call the NAACP about this. Got a lot of people in the room. You know what I mean? No, this is honky central right now.
No, we're going to get to that. It's Katie Seagal. You're going to be on a show that I absolutely love. And am I allowed to say it? Are you allowed to say it?
Yeah, which show?
She's got so many of them.
Frangela, they're coming in. Why do you think you should be on The Price is Right? If she goes, it's called Price is Light. I swear to God, we're a winner. I think I have created a person who would be chosen.
You're dangerously close to me telling you, Francis, to go to the Price is Right with like a bone in your nose. You know.
Hey, hi, who's this?
Hey, this is John Resnick.
From the Goo Goo Dolls.
From the Goo Goo Dolls, yes.
Everything he sings sounds amazing.
Can you sing Mary Had a Little Lamb?
Mary had a little lamb.
Wherever I am, there is joy and laughter. Yay. No? You vote?
Make sure to visit our website, craigshoemakershow.com.
This is wild. Hi. I don't even know. Do I look into the camera? Do I look? No, we'll just look at ourselves. Yeah. We'll look at each other. I know that Sarah, she more has the I have to look in the mirror thing going. I noticed. I watched last week. Yes, than me. You brought it up first. You've already gone twice.
Because now you just mentioned it. I don't like in the intro that you try to get a male co-host. It hurts my feelings.
I don't remember that.
I know.
That was just in there?
Yeah, and it was in
Of course, that's what you come up with. I kept going, isn't that really funny? I like that piece. And she comes out with, I don't like that part. Yeah. Also, I'm all for you, Sarah. As a matter of fact, today on our show, I have a surprise for both of you.
Oh.
We're going to play Laughing at the Stars. But listen to this, Joel.
Yes.
I feel like a game show host. I don't know. Did you guys know I hosted a game show called My Generation? Did you know that?
No.
Yes, 75 episodes on VH1.
Wow.
It was the first virtual reality show. So it was in green screen. I had to do show after show. I was in Kermit's colon for like 14 hours straight. It was unbelievable. I was like, wake up with my wife. Want to go for the bonus? I mean, I was like going crazy with this show. Okay. And it was a really cool show. But in my game show voice, I will tell you that today I have a fun way, because both of you, I feel like I'm actually giving you your prize. Yeah. The two of you are going to win cash prizes today.
Wow.
Out of Craig Shoemaker's wallet, we are going to pay you cash prizes for questions you get right. Both of you will win as long as you get something right. And I must tell you honestly, Joel, Sarah already said, it's a total throw in the wood chipper, can I have some of the answers? I need money.
Oh, man.
Did somebody just ooh?
Yeah, they oohed. No, that was a boo. That was a boo. So...
Oh, fuck you guys. I'm poor.
Well, so is Joel. You did say that Joel. When I said that was another way she threw you under the bus. She said that you need money as well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play for cash prizes today. There's something we can do that will be fun. We also have Jimmy Shubert is coming in.
Sweet.
He is from Philadelphia, and he's the other shoe.
The other
He's
shoe.
the other shoe comedian.
He's the left shoe.
Many shoes.
Yeah, too many shoes around here, but
Do people call him Shoe?
they do.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, it's spelled
Where's the
different.
boo
Yeah, they
there?
call him Shoe, and it's still a little rough on me.
Yeah.
But I was first. I just did a podcast. I don't know, did I mention this last week with a guy named Craig Shoemaker who has his own podcast who took my Twitter handle.
Oh, yeah.
I spent half of the time telling him, give it back to me. I want my name back. And it was really strange. Yes, I threatened him with a Daisy rifle. It didn't sound like one, but that's what I own.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the time, speaking of the Daisy rifle, that we had a rat in our house? And,
And you cut your pubes and put it around.
Yeah.
that wasn't where I was going with the story, but yeah, that's the part you remember, Sarah?
Yeah.
I was like when I say, do you guys remember that? And Sarah will always come up with the time that it's like me at my worst. Had nothing to do with the funny story that I was about to tell about where the rat was in the cage. I think the dog brought it in. It was crazy. And I'm supposed to be the man of the house. And we have 3 boys, by the way. And what an example I set. I was on top of the chair screaming while the other boys were too. We're going, ah, ah! And Mika's going, what's wrong with you guys? And she goes and gets the rat, puts him in. Of course, she wants to put it back with nature. Yeah. My nature girl wants to put it, yes.
Where'd she put it?
She went out. She took it for a ride.
Yeah.
Like put him in the back seat. Like
imagine a dog being set out to pasture, kind of.
Yeah, like she set the rat out to pasture because it was a little nuts because the dog had already sort of gnarled on it a little bit. But we were on top of the chairs, and Justin pulled out my Daisy rifle from the '60s that I have, an old Daisy rifle someone gave me, literally like one of those. What's that movie?
You'll shoot your eye out. The Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. No, not Christmas. Christmas Story. It's a BB gun Daisy rifle. So, and he was going to go after the rat with it on top of a table. By the way, he's like, and I've never seen my wife flip out like that. She literally flipped at him. You do that, I'll kill you. I mean, what? And we all went, whoa, because it came out of nowhere from the hippie girl. Yeah. It was really, really strange to get that. And by the way, speaking of her. She has one thing that I'm bugged by now. You know that I normally don't. I'm not bugged by her.
Yeah, what is it?
She, with Jackson, our little one, okay, she steals all of my material. Like all the things, all the little gimmicks and things that I do with the kids that I've developed through the years, starting with 15 years ago with little Justin. Yeah. I have things called Boo Boo Blaster. And Boo Boo Blaster is basically pretend you have a boo boo on your hand. Yeah, and I go.
I cannot see your wife doing that though. Like,
she does. She does.
As well.
As well? I don't know if I was well, but what it does is it distracts the child. I hope he's not listening. Yeah. But it distracts them from thinking that they're really hurt. Because it's always a small boo-boo. Yeah. Even if it wasn't, I'd still do the boo-boo blaster.
It's not for like broken bone blaster.
No, I've done that too. Yeah. Oh yeah, open wounds. Yeah. I don't care. I'm just trying to avoid paying for a doctor, so I do boo-boo blaster, and then I send it into the air, and then with a So anyway, I developed this years ago, and it really works. I caught her doing it.
You got something on your boo-boo blaster.
Oh,
there.
whoops.
There
That's a piece of pizza. Cost $5, by the way, and that's with a discount. I was not happy. I took Sarah out for pizza, and all of a sudden...
It's like an impromptu pizza, and he really gave a stink when he had to pay for it. I'm very uncomfortable.
I know. It's really bad when you invite someone out, and then you have to go, how much? Are you kidding me? You're going to have to chip in now, Sarah. I didn't say that, but it was implied.
Yeah,
anyway,
it really was. It was very uncomfortable.
I know it was. But that's why I do. I do it for the material. But anyway, so she is taking things from me, and she does them. So now he's way bonded with her, and some of this is, which is fine.
It is his mother.
But it's like, I should only possess these certain things you come to daddy for. Boo Boo Blaster, but he ratted her out this morning because I had another new one, and a new little thing that I was developing, and it was, we do thumb wrestling. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. And when you pin someone, you go 1, 2, 3. So now we do thumb wrestling, which is mine.
Yeah.
But I caught her doing that too. Yeah. So I added, when you pin them, you do 1, 2, 3. And I go, or as they say in France, 1, 2, 3. And then I added all these languages. And I go, or as they say, I go 1, 2, 3. Or as I say in Germany, 1, 2, 3. So he's like laughing. He's learning another language. Yeah. So I'm going, and she's hovering around.
She's just in the background.
She's in the background going, I know Japanese. So I'm thinking she's going to add Japanese.
Yeah.
And it's not, I think I know how to do Japanese 1, 2, 3. But anyway, I said, you're writing this down, aren't you? This is my material. And then he ratted her out.
What did he say?
He goes, Mommy stealed motorboat too.
What's motorboat?
It's when you're in the pool, you get on my back, and I go, motorboat, motorboat, where do we go now? And then they're in the back going, we're going to go to the ladder over there. And it's like a song. I go, motorboat, motorboat, where do we go now? And I go underneath, and I do submarine, motorboat, and I do the motorboat. And I do a little sounds. He goes, Mommy stealed that from you. So when I'm not around and she's at the pool, she takes that one too. What else did he? Oh, now this was the topper. I go, well, she couldn't steal Curly because I've been doing Curly from the Three Stooges since they were born. I swear to you, he goes, Mommy stealed that too. I go, what are you talking about? She's really doing the full Curly. He goes, yes, Daddy, she does nyuk, nyuk, nyuk. And she does whoop, whoop, whoop. I said, really? And he goes, and wise guy. He'd say he's ratting her out fully. I can't even imagine her doing this one. My little hippie wife is going, oh, honey. But as you say, Sarah, I'm sure she's not as committed as I am.
No way. That would be, you have to see her do it. That would be hilarious.
I should video it.
Yes.
I hope she's like booking gigs at night. Like she's just stealing her whole act.
She's the love mistress. Yeah, I could suck the chrome off a bumper, baby. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
She could be the love mistress. She is unbelievable. That she full on. And I always wonder. I say to Jackson, I go, why don't you want more daddy-son time? Because he has it with her. He has it with mommy. She's mommy and daddy. Yeah. I want these things for my own. So then now the other thing I do with the kids is I love to make videos. And I'll be honest with you, part of me's going, maybe I should get hit in the balls or something so I can send it in to America's Home Videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll literally like pitch a ball all the time and just like spread my legs. It looks too obvious, but I want them to like hit me in the balls and we go, oh, send it in, 10 grand.
Yeah.
So I have a new video that I did this morning. Sarah, you're seeing this for the first time. Joel saw it already. This is
when did you see it?
He just saw right before. This is cool about our new show. By the way, welcome everyone. We're happy you're here, and we're working out glitches. You can see our sign in the back is really happening thanks to Bill Smith. He came up with one of our listeners and one of our loyal people that has been following us since we were over at Toad Hop, and now we've moved over to here. He had a little moving pains. Is that such a thing? I know growing pains exist, but moving pains, we've had some. But Bill said, why don't you put the logo, smaller? And I said, why don't we put Joel and Sarah's name there? And then Sarah pointed out, I'm under Joel. So we need to take care of that. There's a new glitch, Sarah. There's Joel. Oh, there he is. He's under his name. Sarah and I need to switch because I'm not Sarah, but I am Craig Shoemaker Show. Welcome, everyone. And thank you, Bill Smith. Bill Smith, thank you very much for helping us with that.
Thanks,
so we now can show videos and things. So I made a video this morning.
Yeah.
And this is for you, Sarah, to your entertainment. I want to see if this should be put on YouTube. One of these days. I do all these professional videos. By the way, the Netflix special, watch Netflix Attitude. It's unbelievable. And please rate me and put a little comment in there. That would really help matters.
Yeah.
I don't get an extra dime, and it doesn't cost you anything to do it. But it's huge. I heard that it got 10,000 views in the first day.
Nice.
It's called Attitude. It was on Showtime, and now it's on Netflix, so you can stream it anytime you want. So anyway, I'm always trying to, for the family, of course, make a little extra money. I'm thinking, I want a YouTube video. So I thought this one might be funny. Let's take a look at it. This is my friend Anthony playing the part of me.
No, I haven't seen him.
Oh my God. I want to see him fly again. Can you do it one more time?
Mika, have you seen Jackson? No, I haven't seen him.
He's going to be in therapy.
These kids are all going to be in therapy. One more time. Just do it one more time. One more time.
Mika, have you seen Jackson?
So high.
No, I haven't seen him.
How'd you get him that
All right, I'm going to be honest how I did this, and then you're not going to like it.
Did you get a ladder?
Someone's going to call child services. I was up on a ladder, and I grabbed him by the ass and the scruff of the neck, and I said, put your arms out like Superman. And by the way, probably 19 takes.
You are so lucky you didn't get hurt.
His mom was right there.
Yeah.
All right, she's there folding clothes allegedly, with the big belly, the pregnant woman.
Oh,
Maybe she's so pregnant she didn't realize that this actually is child abuse.
You picked him up like a puppy with his
I pulled
neck?
up the scruff of his neck on the back. Well, like the tag of his, Did you see his pajamas, the elf pajamas?
Yeah.
And I keep putting them everywhere, like Elf on a Shelf. He's like the live version of Elf on a Shelf. Finally today he goes, I'm tired. Don't call me Elf anymore. I keep calling him Elf. So I put them everywhere like elf on a shelf. I actually, we have a great, I should show you this great elf on a shelf.
Checked ourselves.
What's that?
I mean, this is a very distracting.
It is distracting. I love that she dimes me out too. We both just checked ourselves out. It was funny because we both looked at the monitor, looking at ourselves, looking at the monitor. It's terrible. It's just terrible. So anyway, I went a little bit of shopping this morning for the family. I went to
shopping?
A little bit, yes.
What are you going to get then?
Well, I did get some things.
That.
Well, I'm not guilty. I actually feel pretty good because I gave back to the school, had a book fair that had things like, books and other things for mostly for Jared, the 9-year-old. So I went this morning, and I just can't believe the cost of things now. I mean, I got a couple books, an eraser, and a poster, $51.
Oh, yeah, that's intense.
It's just unbelievable. I remember when I was a kid, I don't know, it's what I like to talk about today, is your perception of Christmas when you thought Santa Claus existed. And then that little time between, Jared's having it around the same age as I had, around 8 and 9. Where the major questions are happening. You got kids at school that are diming out the Santa thing, the Santa myth.
Yeah.
And then they come back to you. You got to lie right to their face.
Yeah.
As you're telling them that honesty is the best policy.
Yeah.
I have a new thing I do with them, by the way, for if I need to know if they're being honest. I told them, I hope they don't listen.
They don't.
You'd be surprised. I told them that I can tell if they stick their tongue out by the color of their tongue, like a mood ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now Jared's onto it. So the other day I really wanted to know if he was being honest about something, and he goes, "I got no problem showing you. Look." He sticks his tongue out, and that's how I knew for sure because he volunteered the tongue.
Yeah.
When I have to pull it out, when I have to go, let me see, and he goes, why? And I go, then I know he's not telling the truth.
Yeah.
But I'm basically picking it up by that. That's the cue. It's not the actual color of the tongue, obviously. I don't have those kind of skills.
Yeah,
yet.
well, that is your kid. Is like not so bright.
What?
Oh my God.
My God. Did she just call my kid dumb? I hope he's not listening.
No. But like he's so sweet and innocent that it's like, of course he still believes in Santa at 9. Of course he sticks his tongue out thinking that
he doesn't believe in Santa. He's at that. But does that give him any more credit now for your believing that he's smart?
He's the sweetest.
He is the sweetest boy. You're just saying he's like Forrest Gump. He's dumb. Is that what you're
just
saying?
saying he believes his father when he lies to his face.
Yeah.
No, he's not as gullible as you think. I should also tell you, he did do something that was ridiculously bad. Little
What
sweet
did he
Jared.
do?
No, I don't even want to tell you. You'll be
tell
very
us,
ashamed.
tell us.
You'll be very ashamed.
What did he do?
Yeah, it's not good.
He stole something.
No, way worse than that. I heard his buddy stole from, and they caught him. So I'm thinking it's a ring.
What did he
I think
do?
he's trying to steal now too. I have to tell you another time. It's really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, little Jared. But so yeah, I got the 4 and the 9 and the 15, and then the 15 also. I don't think he's dimed out Santa Claus. I think he's been pretty cool about it.
Oh, he hasn't said Jared.
No, but I did that to my sister.
You did?
Yeah, I did a lot of stuff to her. I was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why she doesn't talk to me today.
No.
My parents didn't raise us on Santa Claus, so I have no idea what that's like.
I don't
Really?
remember believing in Santa either.
Wow.
Ever?
No, I remember when I was in kindergarten, I came to school and people were like, "What'd Santa bring you?" And I was that little shithead that was like, "There's no Santa."
It was you?
Yeah, it was me in kindergarten.
God, you're terrible. Just because you had a lazy eye and a...
I want to hurt people.
You want to hurt people that hurt you?
Yeah.
There is no Santa. That was terrible.
I was that little shithead. I just remembered that the other day, and I was like, "Oh man, that's a bummer for those kids in my class."
Jeez, Sarah. I
don't ever remember believing in Santa.
Shocked that was you.
Yeah.
I remember feeling better than everyone because my parents specifically told me not to.
Like better than
spread it
like
around in
elitist?
school.
You were an elitist?
Yeah, I felt like I had something up on everyone else.
And you let it go, though. You weren't like Sarah. You weren't...
I sat on it because it made me feel cool to have information that no one else had.
So you were like arrogant when they're all talking about Santa. Yeah. Well, I've extended it with Jared. And I do stuff like when he asks me, he goes, he actually doesn't even ask. He goes, I know there's no Santa Claus. And I go, how do you know that? For sure. Now, when I was a kid, my mom would answer this, and she was very smart at doing this. So you would use logic. She would use logic. She goes, well, I have no money, so how would I afford? How would I possibly afford that? Since your father, then she would always throw in your father doesn't pay child support. Always got that zinger in there. I thought that was his name. Your father, it's Al, doesn't pay the child support. That was his last name. He changed it from Shoemaker to that. So I just believed.
So you were dumb too.
I was dumb. Apparently, I was. No, I really did believe that he did not exist. But that was the one trump card that she had over everything. Was I'd go, wait a minute.
That's
wait a
a
minute.
good one.
Yeah, I go, yeah, she's right. I don't know how rich parents are doing this, how they're pulling that off, because they could have anything they want 24/7.
Yeah.
So, I'm keeping the myth going a little bit, but Jared's also sweet that he doesn't want to spoil it for other kids, like his little brother and now his new sister that's coming in January. That's our big Christmas present that's coming.
I can't believe that's coming already.
A little girl in January, yes.
So Mika's probably
I got a stocking for her that she'll fit in. I was thinking about that. You put her at the fireplace. Just her.
Very cute picture.
What was your stocking stuffers that you had?
With a little girl.
I know, that'll be awesome. Did you guys have stocking stuffers when you were a kid?
I had a traditional of like a little stuffed animal. I still have like almost all of them. I would always get like a little stuffed animal that would fit and like kind of be hanging out the top of the stocking.
That was the Geist tradition, huh? They would put little stuffed animals. I've never heard of that one before. Yeah. That's what's interesting about sharing these. Did you have a custom that you had?
My mom was like practical in our stockings. Like we'd get like the toothbrushes and our socks and gum and like all this crap. And it's like open your stockings first, and it's like boo. I remember there one stocking thing that.
You're like Santa would. If Santa was here, because he wouldn't give me this crap.
Cool as shit.
Yeah.
But I was the youngest, but I remember this one time my parents were my mom, my stepdad were getting divorced. It was like very intense. My mom didn't love him anymore and was kind of mean, and they didn't have and he was like going over the top with buying my mom gifts to kind of make up for stuff. So we had us 3 kids, and my mom's stockings were so full. The night before, I realized nobody bought anything for his stocking, including my mother. And I felt so bad. And I started racing around trying to find stuff. My mom and I was
you were like finding things to just put in there.
Yeah.
Like here's a holiday ornament.
I really put a rock in there because I collect rocks and stuff. And so I put one. I wrapped it up, and it was like, my mom wouldn't buy him anything. It was I felt so bad. And then
was it like her vengeance?
I don't know what it was about. Probably.
Yeah, I think that sounds. That's one of your favorite words. What was it?
What? Passive aggressive behavior. Yeah, it was very sad.
It probably was.
It was. Yeah. Now I look back, I felt so sad for him. So sorry for him.
Now, how did you guys do gifts for your parents? Like I remember getting my dad. Well, it started with, because I didn't have much money, it was pipe cleaners, because he smoked pipes.
Yeah.
So there was pipe cleaners, and then I went into here, Dad, make a mobile. Here's some pipe cleaners. How about a basket? Here's a lot of pipe cleaners. No, I would give him pipe stuff, and then the following year I could afford. I was like 5 or 6. I could afford the actual tobacco.
So you paid for your own gifts.
Oh yeah, my mom made sure of that. My kids don't do that. My kids don't do that. They get the parents to buy for them.
Right.
Or you would make something. That was always a big one. Back then it was ashtrays. Can you even imagine? Can you even imagine these days? You open up and you go, what is it? Well, look, you got 3 spaces for your cigarette butt and others for a party.
Yeah.
They always that little curvy thing for the little bed. Yeah. The bed for the cigarette. Yeah, they would have that on the ashtray, and I would make that little bed with my little fingers, like I was in Schindler's List, like cleaning out bombs. I would get in there and I would create these beautiful ashtrays.
Out of what?
Clay? Yes, clay, and then you put them in the kiln at school.
Oh yeah.
And it was approved.
Yeah.
It was approved. The ashtrays were fine back then.
And now people would be like, "Oh, your parents smoke."
Oh, are you kidding me? I bet ashtrays are even banned.
Yeah.
When's the last time you ever saw someone buy an ashtray for someone, or even see an ashtray out in public? They're all like hidden away, and people with their secret cigarettes. By the way, I got in here today and I was going, I can't believe this. I can't believe this, that my jacket, I haven't smoked cigarettes in ages or even been in a smoky area. And then Joel goes, I just had a cigarette.
It was me. Yeah, he said it in a way.
I was trying to protect you.
No, but I was talking about the way you said it. It was so cute. It was like, he's like, God, sometimes I swear I smell cigarettes still, 6 months later.
The two of you looked at each other. Should we? Should we? All right, I'm going to do something. I'm going to introduce something now. Let me see what time it is. Make sure we have the time, all right?
Are we taking breaks at the half hour mark?
We're going to take a break because we have a great guest coming up. The other shoe, Shubert. Jim Shubert is here.
We should just do a shoe show with all the shoes and the
Are there any others?
And,
oh, yeah, we have the other Craig Shoemaker he's actually in the business of web development.
Yeah.
So he had me as his guest. I said, buddy, I'm on the information super cul-de-sac, my friend. You're not going to get anything out of me. But then he asked me, it was an interesting question, how do you produce a joke and a comedy routine? And he said it's very similar to web development and developing code. He said that's exactly how. So he asked me about that and relating it to his listeners of how you would develop code. And I thought it was interesting. And he was very smart to think of it that way, and it's true. Constructing anything, it takes an idea, and then it takes implementation of the idea and the creative spark that needs to be, light it up with and then it becomes, what it's supposed to become. But I have an idea that I'd like to do with you guys.
Okay.
Now, I understand you went to healthyfeetstore.com.
I did.
Healthyfeetstore.com, and as you know, I get all my shoes there. And people who are listening right now, you can go to healthyfeetstore.com, especially for the holidays, and you get a discount. You put in Laugh It Off 2013. That's our discount code. And they are kind enough to be a part of our show. And what perfect sponsor for a guy named Shoemaker, Craig Shoemaker Show. I certainly know about making shoes. I've been teased about it my entire life. Should we get out of the way?
Do you really
We get out of the way. I love the way. See, we are working out the kinks here.
There it is.
Yeah, it looks better without us. Use that promo code, folks, and you'll get a discount. And I think you get free shipping. And they have a lot of shoes to choose from. I think Sarah actually has viewed the shoes. And
I totally did. There's
which
a
kind
lot
are you
to go
getting?
through. I think I want the boots.
You got boots?
Yeah, because I have to get new boots. I just tore my laces for the ones that I wear. I wear boots all the time, and I found some ones that are not that expensive.
They're not that expensive, but also you get the discount.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are going to get free because we've done. Actually, I want to thank our listeners because a number of people have been using the code. I'm thrilled by that.
Yeah.
And a lot of shoes have been sold through us by using the code, and everyone's happy with it. I've been getting emails and stuff. The shoes are really good shoes, and you get to have your spine taken care of because these are all designed and approved by, I was going to say pediatricians, but podiatrists and surgeons and doctors, and they approve of these shoes. So, and it has a selection, New Balance and all these wonderful brands.
They're stylish and they look super supportive for your
That's
feet
the thing,
and
is
your
they're
back.
supportive for your feet and your back, which is very much the foundation of everything. And Joel, you're going to get your pair.
Yeah, I found some cool bohemian toe sandals. Weird things.
Well, I have another way to kind of gift you guys. I love these going bohemian.
That's what they're
while
called.
he's having
That's what
good
they were
structure.
called.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's good. I have a pair of bohemian type
No,
of
those
sandals.
are great, but sandals, I just
love
picture
these.
your toes hanging out. Do they
I-
have?
They might.
I picture Hercules or
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
That's more what I picture. I thought it was cool.
That's cool. To each his own. So we're going to bring on our guests. We're going to bring
Not playing the
our
game.
guests. Or we're going to take a little pause. Now, during this pause, instead of hearing a commercial, we're going to see a video of me in Atlanta. We're doing things a little different around here. So now,
Some of your stand-up?
yes, no, this is stand up. This was an interview that ended
so
up.
cute. She was like a little kid. Stand up.
That was very nice.
That was nice.
You mean what I love so much? Your stand up?
Yeah.
That doesn't have.
What a treat.
It's not going to be a treat. You can Netflix that on Datitude, or reverse that. That was this dyslexic way of promoting it. Netflix this on Datitude. It's called Datitude. You can get it on Netflix. So here's a little clip from me in Atlanta from last week. Froze my ass off. Nice weather if you're a nipple. I was really, really cold. Really cold in Atlanta. It's really cold throughout the country. I'm going to Minnesota this weekend at Mount Rushmore. I'm really going to freeze my ass
Mount
off.
Rushmore is not...
That's on my bucket list. I'm going to end up kicking the bucket from a heart attack. It's 8 below. But anyway, here's a little clip from me in Atlanta. And after that, we're going to bring Jim Shubert in here. Stay with us.
Sweet.
Awesome.
I feel like that was a great hot topic.
That was really good, guys.
Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
Do you talk a lot of sports in your stand? I mean, you did the thing with Magic, right? Magic Johnson.
Oh, thanks for bringing that
That
up.
rules. I wanted to bring it up because I'm obviously a huge
I have all
NBA
these great.
fan.
I have all these great credits, and you have to come up with the one.
That's
I'm
the one I wanted
I'm a
to bring up.
regular
I
on
didn't know if
Parks
it
and
was comfortable or
Recreation
not.
now.
You
Bold
are.
and
Congratulations.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome.
But awesome. But we still want to talk about the time you were fired from a show
Because there's heat there. That's interesting. There's no heat with Parks and Rec.
Yeah, this is cool.
I do have bad stories about that too, almost getting fired. But well, yeah, I was picked to be the comedian that sits next to him. They said I wasn't going to be like a co-host, like just laugh at him. Obviously, he's not known for the comedy stylings of Magic Johnson. They said you will tell him the jokes and he will respond. That'll be your monologue. Will be to him sitting down. I said that's pretty cool. I could do that. And we did some good practice shows. They panicked. They brought in horrible writers from the Tonight Show. I mean, the old Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. These guys are wearing members-only jackets and mullet haircuts. And I called the guy Sling Blade because he had a jutted-out jaw. I said, Sling Blade, you can't make me tell these jokes. I'll get booed. And I swear there's a quote. He goes, a boo is as good as a laugh. Johnny loved to be booed. You go get booed. That'll be great. I go, you got to be kidding me.
French fried potatoes.
Water's cold, water's deep. So I said, Sling Blade, please. And they said, you have to tell the jokes. All right, so here's what happens.
Sling Blade.
So I'm backstage, and I just won all these awards, Comedian of the Year and all this kind of stuff. Backstage, premiere episode. I'm going, all the girls, I'm listing all the ones that wouldn't go to the prom with me. Now they're going to be mad, because I have my own show on Fox. Here's my intro. All right, 2 Emmys I had won. This is my intro. Magic says, place is going crazy. And Sling Blade writes Magic's introduction for me. And he goes, all right, everybody, let's get the show started with my co-host. Now, here's a guy nobody would shower with. Craig Shoemaker. I'm going, what are you talking? Nobody would shower with? I'm not coming out. That's what I thought to myself. I'm not coming out to this introduction, but it's live TV. So I come out and I walk out with I have a very white walk, by the way. I'm a white guy with a bouncy piston walk. I come walk, and it's an all-urban crowd, Los Angeles, screaming for Magic. I sit down next to him, and Sling Blade made me tell this joke. Magic goes, Craig, how about that Bulls game? I said, Magic, I haven't seen a beating like that caught on tape since Rodney King. Yeah, you see your reaction right now? Now just imagine, urban crowd in L.A., and a gasp you could have heard here from Paramount Studios. Oxygen mask popped down from the ceiling, and all he says to me, known for the assist in basketball, I thought he'd assist me. Oh, Craig, you are bad. Now remember, everybody, that was Craig, the co-host, not me. He threw me right in the wood chipper, and every time I tell a joke about a celebrity, you want to look bad and go, oh, Craig, you are bad. Now he's not going to come on the show. And I'm sitting there thinking, that ain't the reason.
So he didn't have to play off. He just throw you under the bus.
No, every time I go, you are bad, he's not going to come on the show. Yeah. That would be his normal line. And meanwhile, they weren't coming on because he couldn't pronounce anything. Michael Clark Duncan was in Armageddon. Magic is the cue card going, now up next from the movie Armageddon. Now here he is. Here he is. Armageddon. Oh, Craig. How you say that word? I say, just say end of the world. It's the end of my career, end of my life. And then the opening, this is the end of my career. I'm getting booed. I'm not telling the jokes. Sling Blade's over there. We got booed. That was a good one. You got to be kidding me. And the opening episode was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right? Now you talk about a couple communicators. now you realize I am from Philadelphia. I was a poor kid. I had no father, and I'm sitting with these legends. And then I realized about halfway through, I have to be the UN translator here with these two. And they did that Hollywood kiss-up thing. This is a word for word. Arnold, the reason I had you as a guest on my premier talk show, you make a lot of money for a lot of the needy people. Folks, don't he give it up for the needy people? No, imagine you're the one with all the money. We give back to the community with the AIDS awareness, the Magic Johnson deal. Oh, come on, Arnold. You're the one with them Special Olympics helping those needy kids. I'm sitting there thinking, how am I going to blend in? I lean over, almost gave a buck to the homeless guy. He'd have change for a 10. Oh, Craig, you are bad. Now the homeless guy's not going to come to the show.
All right, Craig, we got to let you go.
Oh, now you're letting me go. They let me go, too. They fired me. Put Took me off the couch in the middle of the show.
That Craig, he's a bad man.
Oh, come on. Barely?
404-252-5233. Go see him at the Punchline this weekend. Craig Shoemaker at the Love Master. Hit him up on Twitter. Brother, good having you. Thank you.
Fan page too, Craig Shoemaker, no mocker. Come see me and sign up and listen to my podcast. We have great guests.
I love them in the Bold and Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, you like me? I play a porn producer.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Get into the Jameis Winston stuff here. Top of the hour after your Sports Flash. Hang on. Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
Yeah, that'll be.
Is the audio on? We're trying to work these things out. Is it on? Okay, we're talking.
Once you're on there, you're good.
Once we're on there, they hear us.
That's a thumbs up.
Are they hearing you too, yelling at us? Okay, with a big thumbs up over there, Fonzie.
Yeah.
Do you know who Fonzie is?
Talks a lot more nowadays.
You think Stefan talks a lot more now and then? Yeah. Nowadays, you act like you don't like it.
I like it. I like the laughter mostly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's trying to control you. She's trying to tell you, Stefan, just the laughs, don't talk. That's what I read from that in my interpretation of female interpretation. Coming up is Laughing at the Stars. It's a really fun game that we play here, but we're going to play for cash. You didn't know this, Stefan, but we're going to play for cash. Joel and Sarah are going to compete against one another. Oh, that ring means our guest is here. We have a great guest, Jimmy Shubert, the other shoe from Philadelphia.
Yo,
Yeah, he even gave a yo.
What's up?
I don't know what the hell happened to you, the way you walk these days. I don't know what's going on. It reminds me of the real McCoys. You remember the real McCoys?
Yeah.
The bunge on fire, Pepina. The bunge on fire. Yeah, I got a limp over there. You got to get the fire out.
Well,
you got a little limp going on here.
Well, a lot of people think it's a leg. It's actually a penis with a sneaker on the end of it. That's why.
That's what happens?
No. I was in a motorcycle accident. I got a bad knee, you know.
Yeah?
Getting old's not for pussies, Greg. You know.
I don't know. We're the same age, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's something like that. You go way back.
You go way back, bro. I think my first paying gig I ever did in comedy was I think it was like the Ambler Cabaret or Barleycorns or one of those gigs.
I booked you in
You
that
used
gig.
to book in Philly.
Yes,
yeah.
I did. Yeah. Do you know I was a booker?
No.
The people used to actually get to know me just for that.
So use you a little bit?
Yeah, a little using. Yeah, they weren't interested in my personality.
Well, you know, that was a very long time ago. I mean, there was only a couple rooms in Philly you could do. The Comedy Factory, Outlet Comedy Works. You had these satellite rooms.
Yeah,
before Scarpati and some of those other guys.
Yeah, I was doing laugh your buns off. That's when you couldn't say
Did
ass.
you come up with the title?
Laugh your buns off, and then it had a really cool graphic with it was missing his ass.
Oh.
Yeah, ha ha ha! They laughed their ass off, but it was called Buns because back then, this is in '81, we had Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
We used to have all these great comedians would come down from New York for $100.
Oh, yeah.
Down to the Ambler Cabaret. It was called the Tap Room at first.
Yeah.
That's good money in 81.
$100, that was a lot of money.
In 1981 money. That's $100.
Did you ever live in New York?
No, I did not live in New York. But
You never did the whole New York thing?
No, but I used to go up to New York. I never lived there.
Because there were comedians that lived in New York that actually would get jobs if they had a car.
Yeah.
People would use them. Do you remember that? You'd meet at the Improv?
Yeah.
And then anybody with a car, he'd get like the $50 set. They always stunk.
Yeah. And then
But they had the car.
But they had the car.
It was like the guy in baseball that had a mitt, and he had a mitt and a catcher's mitt.
Yeah.
That mean that they were going to play because they were the catcher or the first baseman. It was kind of like that with comedy. But you always had the skills. You didn't need a car.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. But I've heard those stories. There's a guy named I don't even know if I'd say this guy named Doug James, and he was
one of those.
Yeah, and he would drive these guys in Boston. And at the end of the gig, they go, "Home, James, home, James." You know. Okay.
Did you when you moved to Los Angeles? You were one of the ones who moved out early.
Yeah, well,
You became part of Sam Kinison's group. Do you know who Sam Kinison is?
Yeah.
Early on. Well, I was going to go to, because you said earlier, I was thought about going to New York, and I thought if I go to New York, I'm going to have to go, and I'm eventually going to go to L.A. anyway, then I have to reestablish myself, and it was already, so I said, why don't I just go out to Los Angeles, which is what I did, packed up my Buick, 69 Buick LeSabre, puke green Buick, and just drove across country. And
You did?
And I was listening to, I remember I had these tapes called Dennis Waitley's The Psychology of Winning, and I listened to them all the way across the country. Like 2 weeks I got there, I auditioned for Mitzi. I started a job at the Comedy Store, and I found my apartment, found my place to live.
Based on these tapes, he was like kind of the Tony Robbins of the mid '80s.
Yeah, basically. Same.
That's
kind
when
of
you
thing.
moved out.
Same kind of
and
thing.
you're listening on 8-track, or
No,
was
no,
it?
no.
What was it?
Wasn't that early?
If
No,
it
cassette.
skips, you put a matchbook in.
Yeah, cassette. That's fucking hilarious. No, we had the,
You know it's true.
No,
though.
but my brother did have an 8-track in his car he bought. He had to put the match back.
Yeah, you put the
because it was
matchbook in if it started skipping. I can't believe that you went to school with Tony Luke as a great restaurant in Philly. You didn't know this about me, Sarah. I'm opening up 3 restaurants out here.
What?
In Los Angeles. Yes, called Tony Luke's. Oh, you guys didn't know this?
No.
Well, I can't announce it yet, but I just did.
You did.
But I'm opening up 3 in Southern California. With a group of investors. It's the greatest sandwich in all of Philadelphia. And you went to school with Tony Luke,
I did
my
go to school.
buddy.
Yeah, I went to school with Tony Luke, and but you're right, they're unbelievable sandwiches.
Yeah,
and,
the best.
And I'm surprised like there's not like a place where you can go. I mean, I guess it's always the bread. The thing that makes those
It is the
sandwiches
bread.
great is the bread. So if
Yeah.
they figure out a way to do that, because I guess the West Coast what or the East Coast what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So
That's why no one's been able to duplicate these cheesesteaks out here in Los
so
Angeles.
it's like, I haven't had there's nothing even in comparison. And as good as the Philadelphia cheesesteak is, there is a sandwich called Portillo's in Chicago, and they've opened up right across from Knott's Berry Farm. But if you've never had one of these sandwiches,
Seriously?
It's Italian seasoned beef, and they put it on a roll, and they got these Jordanaire, these peppers on it. It's just unbelievable. It's 45 miles one way from my house.
And you'll still go for the sandwich?
I'll go for the sandwich.
Wow, are you serious?
No, well, you'll go for the sandwich, but then while you're down there, you can get the meat and the frozen gravy and the bread, and you can bring the kid back and make them in your house.
Oh, I like
That's a
that.
good
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. And it's, and they get this thing called a cake shake, where they take a piece of chocolate cake and they put it in a vanilla shake, and as you're drinking it, you can feel your arteries hardening, but it's just
His accent
unbelievable.
makes it sound so much better.
His accent?
Yeah.
Makes it just sound just amazing.
He's got a Philly accent
Yeah.
that he's not willing to drop. I am.
Well,
I'm working on dropping
listen,
mine.
I don't care. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
like
you don't care. You actually accentuate
Why
it.
would we, it's not like we speak the King's English anyway.
Well,
It's-
well, yeah, who does speak the King English? No one speaks
Well, I think
really
I
proper
think it
English
makes,
anymore.
I think it makes you. I think it makes you stand out here with the land of no accents.
Yeah.
I think to have one,
I've never heard it called that. The land of no accent. You have no accent.
No.
Yeah.
I don't.
You proud of that?
I don't care.
Where are you from?
I was born out here and then raised in Colorado. And I
Wow,
kinda split my
another
time.
place with no accents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what
no
that would
attitude,
be.
no accents.
No, we're pretty
Yeah.
bland. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
They
boring.
actually have you fill out when you do voiceover work. I just did this yesterday. I have a new agent. They have you fill out different accents.
That you can
And they
do.
literally ignore the entire Colorado, Iowa area. They don't even have an accent
there's
there.
no accent.
They don't even try.
No, but there's Boston. They don't pronounce the letter I. Me and my friend Bobby was in a car smoking pot, drinking beers, and we're in the bar shooting darts. And guess who walks in? Miss Match. Miss Match walks in. And I jump in. Will you please pronounce the letter R? Because all those unpronounced R's go up into the atmosphere, and they come down places like Long Island where people go, I got an idea.
They add one.
I gotta go do a load of wash.
Wash, yeah.
I go, no, there's no R in there.
They take the R that was launched out of Boston and ends up in Long Island. But I've actually said to them, I've had challenges to them. I'll say, you can't tell the difference between a little kid's P-A-R-T-Y and a little kid goes on the P-O-T-T-Y.
Right.
And I swear to God, they'll go, what are you talking about? There's a difference. Potty and potty.
Right.
You can't hear the difference? What's wrong with you? I go, which is which? What's wrong with you? It's potty and potty. You can't hear it? One's got an R. That's not even an R. You saying an R.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. Yeah, that's a pretty thick accent.
Now, Philly, we get teased about our accent.
Because we drop our G's and we say things like wooder.
Wooder's the worst.
W-O-O-D.
So I do not say wooder, Stefan. I don't say wooder.
May I have a glass of water, please?
I try that now. Ever since I moved out, it's the first one I did drop because someone brought me a block of wood.
Yeah.
When I said, "Can I have some water?" And I'm okay. Here you go.
That's funny.
You chip away at this. But I mean, I've had the one for me that they make fun is tournament.
Tournament.
Yeah, look at me. He looked at me like, "What's wrong with tournament?"
Tournament.
Nobody says that. The whole rest of the country.
tournament?
Yeah, they say tournament. The whole rest of the
Tournament?
country. Yeah, like
Tournament.
He looked like
Tournament. Can I have a glass of water? I'm getting ready to play in a golf tournament.
the tournament.
Yes.
Yeah, Springsteen, I told him, doesn't go on tour. He goes on tour, Mint.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
One,
Exactly.
2, 3, fur. That's how you pronounce four. It's not fur.
Yeah,
It's tournament.
I actually like it. You know, it's very specific. The Philadelphia accent is very
It
specific.
is. And no one's ever been able to do it.
No, unless you have the legitimate Philly accent.
Do you know that no one's ever? Have you ever noticed
But I
this
could
in
do
film?
but
You notice it? Doesn't it drive you crazy?
Yeah.
When you watch Silver Linings Playbook, let me see if the other shoe agrees with this. Now, a good movie. You saw it, right?
Yeah. Jennifer Lawrence actually is from that area, so she did have.
So is Cooper.
Oh, is
Bradley
it-
Cooper told her Jenkintown.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So I didn't even know she was. I knew he was.
Right.
So now you're okay. But did you notice that De Niro, who's this Philadelphia, South Philly guy, puts a full New York accent, dropping the R's and
Yeah,
everything?
because they can't tell. Like they can't. Like Philadelphia, New York, close enough.
It's not.
I know it's
It's
not.
nowhere near. Same with the Invincible. Dove Davidoff was a great part in it, but he's doing a New Yorker. They do the New York thing. New York.
Yeah.
But Philly goes New York.
My brother Johnny talks like he's got marbles in his mouth. I mean, I swear to God, when he talks, I keep looking. I go, you need subtitles, man. You need subtitles. You need.
How's he talk?
No, it's just it's good that thing, going on. That thing is, that thing, he's. I go, man, I can't understand.
Did you ever? I always wonder about accents. Like, how did it happen? Like, they move here from England. Right? They land in New England or somewhere like that. And as they're going south, all these different accents happen. That migration, when did it all of a sudden they like cross the Delaware River? All of a sudden become more I talk like this. Like this. There's no this, it's this.
Well, you know that Philadelphia itself is like, my brother calls them Philbillies.
Yeah.
Because there's like these inner city rednecks, like the two-streeters that are just complete savages.
Yeah.
You walk down 2 streets, you see these people eating a banana with their foot out on the stoop. They're just like, they're just it's like.
Do you know what a stoop is?
Yeah, outside of your house.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah, but it's like, it's only in Philadelphia do they have like, there's like, those mummers, the mummers music and the scrap.
Mummers is the greatest.
Yeah.
Do you know what a mummer is, Sarah?
No, I don't know what a mummer is.
Well, Jimmy's going to explain what a mummer is.
That's a guy who goes down the street on one of the coldest days of the year, dressed like Liberace and plays a banjo.
And they're the tough guys, too.
Yeah, these guys
It's
are
the
like
one day they can be gay.
the Clown Brigade. Yeah. And they do.
And they do. They're literally in satin and sequins with big giant plumes of feathers.
Yeah.
New Year's Day. Okay. So it's freezing, and they're going up and down. They're drunk on their ass.
They start drinking about 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, because they have to get all these costumes together, and then they go and they have xylophones.
You're kidding.
Xylophones and banjos.
It's like some kind of weird hybrid polka music. I don't even know, but it's just. But it's all.
They all play the same song.
And
the
you
golden
get the strut.
slippers. Those golden slippers.
And they got and the mummer
This you got to check. Watch. Oh, you can see us on camera. This is the mummer strut. Okay, let's try to do it.
my God.
Oh, those golden
Yeah, you
slippers.
get the whole thing.
Oh, those golden
And the
slippers.
Clown Brigade.
This is radio worth watching right now.
Yeah,
because then they just go take a piss up and down Broad Street, and then they get judged.
Yeah.
At the viewing stand.
Why? Because it's a tradition.
Yeah,
and
where
it's
does the tradition come from?
Well, it's these clubs. They have clubs, and it's like I love that they. What's the best Philadelphia accent is the mummers have a record that they put out every year.
Yeah.
And they go, this is the Philadelphia accent. It's like they don't get a narrator from somewhere else to do the actual commercial.
Right.
The narrator sounds like this. Call now for this limited time only.
Yeah, limited time only.
This year, Furco String Band won. They get the Furco String Band, the Polish. They got Polish, Italian, Irish, and they're all competing against each other. And they're red-faced from the cold and the alcohol. Yeah. And they just go up and down. They go down Broad Street. With these giant plumes, and then they have the captain.
Yeah, it's just
the captain.
It's actually a spectacle. They got the Clown Brigade. They got the. I mean,
the fancies, the clowns, and then the string brigade.
It really is. It really is.
It's unique.
Yeah, it's very unique.
There's nothing like it.
Until you've seen it, you can't make fun of it because it actually is pretty spectacular.
I love that he's drawing the line with you. He just drew a boundary with Sarah. You're not going to make fun of this because
No,
this is
I wasn't drawing the line. I was just saying until you've seen it, but it really is kind of interesting. I like that it's kind of.
You never did the mummers though. You were
no,
never in a
my
mummers group.
uncle's in the clown brigade.
He is.
Yeah, they do. They go down but they're hammered by 6 o'clock in the morning. It's just a giant party, man.
And you've been to watch it though, right?
Yeah, I've been to watch it several times.
You always have to
as
have a
kid.
good spot.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. Is your
they're
spot.
overlooking on the balcony as they come by.
Yeah,
it's nice
have a
with the
little
heat.
fire. Yeah, you got to have a heater. You know,
Yeah.
coming out of the house. They turn their house up to way hot.
How many mummers come out?
Oh,
It's
1,000?
Yeah, it's the thousands. It's a big parade.
Yeah.
Like kind of Mardi Gras or the Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
like our version of kind of Mardi Gras. It's like a carnival. It's
And
the
they're also
same.
warm because it's the heaviest city in the country. It was like voted the heaviest city in the country. They eat like really bad food.
They're called carbohydratelphia. 'Cause, so where else could you get? Where else could you get? You get bags of pretzels. You get 20 pretzels for a nickel. 20 pretzels, and it's just dough. It's just pretzel dough.
And you literally cannot eat a sandwich without chips.
Yeah.
You can't. It's like physically impossible. I'm just starting to try it, by the way, after all these years of living in California. I'm just starting to wean myself off of chips with a meal. Am I right about this?
Yeah,
Have you ever done a meal without chips, a sandwich?
No.
Is it physically impossible?
No,
right?
I can do it. I have done it, but it's
just challenge. I could do that.
No, I could
like
do it.
I
I
asked him
have
to climb
done
a
it.
mountain or something.
No, but I don't really eat chips. I'm not a big chip
You're not
eater.
a chip guy.
No.
Oh, so you're not with me on this.
No.
How about
I
dessert?
get-
Tasty cakes.
I love tasty. Who doesn't love tasty cakes? But they're not the same tasty cakes.
It's a little defensive.
You know, they're not the same tasty cakes they were when we were kids. You know, they're not.
I know, they have a new formula, don't
Yeah, they got a
they?
new formula. Took it over, and it's not the same. So.
Oh, the peanut butter tandy takes.
Yeah.
They even changed the name to candy cakes. It used to be tandy takes.
Yeah.
But you live for those, and they had certain chips that were made there, hers, and the really
Scrapple, you can only get in Philly.
Oh, Scrapple.
And it's just pork.
You know what it is?
No, it's
Pork. It's just
Scrapple.
meat. The only thing is not in the pork in Scrapple is the yoink. I mean, legs, feet, ears.
Oh, yeah,
and it's this
snouts.
clump of meat, and you just
They
put
just
either-
grind it up. It's what's left over after they make sausage, which is already what's left over. Now they take more leftovers and they put it in a mold.
And only in Philadelphia would anybody eat the word Scrapple with the word crap right in the middle
Yeah,
of it.
that's in my act.
Is it really?
That's in my act.
But you put
And I also
jelly.
say it's one vowel away from scrap pile.
yeah,
That's
let me-
what it is. It's a scrap pile.
let
It's
me
what
a-
they sweep up and they make a mold.
Well, then let me ask you a question: jelly or ketchup?
Oh, ketchup.
All right, fine. That's fine. I
You
got no
put
problem.
ketchup on it. That's
I
what they
know.
always go. They go, here's what they do. This is how they get you to eat Scrapple. They humiliate you. They go, put ketchup on it. It'll put hair on your chest. Well, thanks for the advice, Sasquatch. That's for the good health. And it's made out of the snouts. You can even find little pieces of snout in there. Oh, it's made out of their claws. Is that what they have? Claws
No,
or hooves?
feet, hooves.
They have hooves.
Yeah, it's like you said. It's all.
But only, I guess a pig wouldn't have a claw. I don't.
But
I have to go to my kid for this one.
Yeah, but
we ate really bad food. Now, how are you with California? Have you made a big adjustment here?
Yeah, I eat real healthy, man. I love
You
to
do?
cook. I'm a cook. When I'm home, I'm cooking.
Yeah,
you know.
but not crap.
No, good, healthy food. Paleo. I do a lot of paleo stuff. No carbs, no bread.
What happens when you go? Don't they call you a fruit when you go back home and you study? You know what they do?
I could give a shit
It's
what
the
they
wor-
think. I could give a shit.
The worst thing they could call you though is they add Joe to your name. Like if they'll go, oh, look at Joe California eating a vegetable.
Joe California.
They call you Joe, right?
Joe California.
It's got to be Joe this or Joe that. Look at Joe Ketchup.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you do.
Yeah,
You
but
do-
I mean, you go back there and I go back to these neighborhood bars.
You don't care.
It's always the same guy. I'm going
Yeah.
like you guys. Your vote even counts in my election, douchebag. Have another drink and knock off that last brain cell. You fucking ham and egger. Sorry.
So you don't really go back that much, is that right?
No, I was just back there. I go back to see my family. I got
You
six.
do?
I got 6 brothers. I got a ton of nieces and nephews, and I got no sisters. All brothers.
Anybody
my
get into
dad
comedy?
My dad was a Philadelphia police detective. He worked in homicide. He worked a major case.
Wow.
So I'm raised by this old school, hard nosed gumshoe of a detective father. I got 6 brothers. I got one feeling, and I dare you to hurt it. You know what I mean? It's just. just, it's just the way it is.
Yeah. Well, it is. I actually
Plus,
still
and
hang
then
out.
you put the Philadelphia backdrop on it. Oh, look at Joe asshole over there. All right.
Have you ever given you the Joe California?
No,
if you eat tofu, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
Look at tofu. What's tofu?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they're eating the scrapple and the cheesesteaks and everything else.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the guy's like, I always love when you're watching the sporting event. Look, you can't even win it. Go, what are you talking about? You're 400 pounds. Get back on the couch and shut your
I
pie.
love that they're the most judgmental. And they ever notice the really, really heavy dudes are always the most judgmental, and they have that cocky attitude. These guys.
Yeah.
And they have that look like, I'm the king of the land, like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
That's what they remind me of.
Yeah.
And they analyze everybody's play in football, and they always have it down like what they should be doing. And you're just looking at them just going, well, what do you do that you can actually judge people like this?
Yeah.
What is it that you have confidence in except eating? That's obvious that you're the king of eating.
I started working out. Oh, yeah? Yeah, what he done? I got heavier silverware, bro. I got heavier silver. I'm working out now. All right, settle down.
I actually went to an Eagles game once. I'm going this weekend in Minnesota. I'm
Nice.
taking my
Oh,
son, who
cool.
I turned into an Eagles
That's
fan.
a great
even though
stadium. That's a great stadium.
Minnesota? You
Well,
mean the dome where it actually falls in with snow?
Well, I was there before that happened, but it's. Hey,
Is it really?
Well, you saw what it was like in Philadelphia last week with that game, which was probably one of the greatest NFL games I've ever seen in my life.
Ever.
I thought it was great, man. I loved it.
The snow was so thick.
It was like 8 inches on the field.
They would slide, and literally they would get up, and you wouldn't see their face anymore. It was
Because it was
completely
packed with-
filled. It was packed in, like they say it's packed in powder for skiing. This was packed already. They would just slide and they would go like this and try to get the snow out. They couldn't even see. That's why all of a sudden they started scoring like crazy.
Well, they
The
started.
defenders-
They took them 2 quarters to get used to
Yes.
playing it, and I
Yes.
think once they did, and I actually thought they did a great job. I mean, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that Nick Foles. I think they got. They're playing really good at this perfect time of year.
As long as they play people in the snow, they're good to go.
Yeah. Well, I live in California. If there's any snow in my front yard, it usually fell out of my pocket. Hey!
I went to an Eagles game one time, and they're real proud of themselves, the fans. They're so proud of themselves. I watched a guy, and we're talking freezing temperatures, and they actually think they have something to do with the outcome of the game if they to pull stunts. Like this guy sat on top. The catcher's poles that have the big giant net and the fence.
Yeah.
He actually climbs up on top of the pole to watch the game with no shirt on. And he would just kept on turning to the crowd because he thought that he was like the main cheerleader. Like the Eagles were on the field going, I don't know if I can handle this play, but there's my inspiration. Like they're looking at this guy, he kept going, go Birds! And the police were trying to get him down, but if they would have got him down, he would have died.
Yeah.
So he climbed, and he made it the whole game with no shirt on, at probably about 12 degrees, with a wind chill. They always call it the wind chill.
Yeah, but that's where that confidence comes from. Yeah, bro, I tell you that time I would climb up on that pole, man. I was up there for 4 hours at 12 degrees, man. I lost a nipple to frostbite, but I was up there, man. All right.
Yeah, they'll be telling that story for years. So now you, speaking of gumshoes, didn't I see you playing a gumshoe in a movie? You've had a lot of parts in movies.
Yeah, little things here and there. Yeah, I've done some stuff. I guess I played a detective in
the one with the Papa.
Yeah,
and all
Italian
those-
Job. Yeah, with the a scene with
Italian Job with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, and the girl, the blonde, tall.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
She's from my acting class.
Oh, is she
We
really?
started together. Yeah.
Oh, she's great. She's real.
Yeah,
real,
one of us went far.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Same coach. What the hell happened? Yeah. But yeah, she did pretty good for herself. But so you were in that movie, and then I thought in the movie with Matt Damon. Weren't you in that movie? I thought I could have sworn you were in that.
No, I've done
Rick Overton was in it.
No, I was not. That was not me. Probably my doppelganger was getting all the jobs I should be getting.
You were in a lot of stuff.
No, I've done bunch. I just did the Back in the Game on ABC with Jimmy Kahn. He got to hustle me for like $1,600 on the golf course in the episode. And tonight I'm actually going to be on the Stars Black at 10:30. They're doing a show called Stand Up, and we just taped David Tell's new show for Comedy Central. They picked up 8 half hours,
Whoa.
so it's this kind of late night, unfiltered, uncensored thing that Comedy Central's doing. They shot at the Cellar at the Underground.
They bring you in when they want raw.
Well, no, it's just
right.
No, they just.
Like that's a show. In other words, it's not a Nickelodeon show. They bring
you're
in
right.
the shoe.
I'm not a Nickelodeon guy.
By the way, you called Shoe.
Shuby.
Oh, nice.
So Shuby, you're called Shoe, but I've known you forever. But you're like, we're both Shoemaker and Shubert from Philly, representing the 215. I mean,
we represent the 215, a little bit of 610,
yeah,
but it's still the 215 to us. And a matter of fact, at the Jersey Shore, they used to call you Shuby, and you know what that's from, right?
It means
they call you Shubies. And tourists that would go down there on weekends that weren't didn't own a home there. Do you know why they call them Shubies?
Why?
Because they used to carry all their goods in a shoebox.
Oh,
so
that's
first you
funny.
knew this?
No.
That's why they call them
because my
Shubies. That's
family,
when
when we were little, we used to go down. My grandmother got a house in down in Longport, Margate, and we go down there for 2 weeks. And my whole family's walking. Said, "Shubies, go home." I go, "That's what we did."
He took it personally.
Yeah, but it was so funny.
Jim Shubert, how do we get a hold of you? We got to take a break.
At Twitter at JimmyShubert.com. And just Google Jimmy Shubert. That's
Jimmy
all.
Shubert, one of the funniest comics out there. Really, I mean,
that's very nice of you to say, and you as
Our
well.
second guest here.
Yeah, second guest here in the studio.
Our second guest, yeah.
Nice.
Lovitz was the first.
Right.
I wonder how he got that.
Yeah.
He owns the place, and then we had the other shoe come in.
Nice.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Give me some. All right, we're coming back. Roko Belic he's the director of the movie Happy. A movie I really believe in, and behind it is, you saw it too?
Yeah, I saw it.
Well, we'll talk to him about that. As a matter of fact, we have a discount if you stick around for the movie Happy. It's a great documentary about, you figure it out. Coming back.
Happiness sold separately.
Jersey, you selfish twat.
love this show. I'm really digging this new space.
I like it.
Working
now,
out the kinks.
too.
Working out the kinks.
You're really going to dig it now. By the way, we have the director of the movie Happy. It's a really cool documentary. As a matter of fact, I just found out that Sarah saw it as well, but we'll talk to him about that.
Yeah.
We will sift to that. Save it for the air. This time,
excited.
though, I have a surprise for you guys. I brought some cash. Okay? This is an
Shoes wallet.
Look, we've done this before. Yeah, this is called Shoes Wallet. I brought some cash, okay? A lot of fives. Look at Joel's looking at me. So this is what I was thinking. I've handed you guys money before, and I really do appreciate you being here, obviously. And we've done that before. And
now we have to dance for it.
Now, exactly. This ain't easy, Joel. Yeah. Okay, let me hear your buzzer sound. We're gonna play. Laughing at the Stars, a game that we invented. It's about laughing at pop culture and the stars that are out there doing foolish things. Yeah. We'll see how you're doing. Sarah listens to Perez Hilton, so I think she might.
Recently.
Oh, okay. She's qualifying that. It doesn't matter. These are old questions.
Good.
I've been wanting to play this for 2 months.
Like from whose generation?
You're both in the same generation, okay? So you're going against Joel.
Did Kimmy do
So
this,
basically,
or did
we
you
have
do
a
this?
wad of cash. Kimmy did this,
great.
okay? So Kimmy is 23 years old, all right?
Yeah.
So these questions should appeal to you. I have not seen the questions yet.
Oh boy.
Okay.
But,
Where
okay?
is Kimmy?
So
So I can
hopefully I'll
find
have
her
all the
anywhere.
pronunciations down and not make a fool of myself. Last time I hosted a game show was a few years ago, and we did not have some of these stars. And here we go. We're going to play Laughing at the Stars.
Woo!
And now,
So what's our? So we buzz in.
Stars with your host, Craig Shoemaker.
That was. we
I
just
can't
buzzed
believe
in.
you actually looked. You looked.
Yeah, I can't stop looking at myself.
No, I
You're
bet
a
no.
cheater.
I'll tell you how vain she is. She'd rather look at herself than the answers that will get her cash. I thought you were looking at the answers.
No, I did not see that.
Now she's trying to
I'm
look
not
through
a
the paper.
cheater.
Okay,
I'm not
I don't
a
have
cheater.
3x5 cards, but here's how we're going to do it. You're going to buzz in. If I call on you, this is how it works now. No cheating. If I call on you, you get the answer correct, and you will win money. And I will just hand you the money on the spot.
Sarah's
How
gonna
many
cheat
game
this
shows
time.
do that? Out of the guy's
How am I
pocket.
gonna cheat?
So let me hear your buzzer sound.
I mean, I know I change it. Ding! Or it's going to be whatever.
Jeez, choose one for God's sake. Joel went right with it. He was right out of Tony's. See? That's mine. And we have a scoreboard over here.
It
So
might be
Joel's is,
whatever comes out.
see? And yours is,
Whatever comes out.
no, Sarah.
Dung!
Thank you. Dung. I like dung.
Dung.
Okay, we're going dung. Because let's hope you don't lay a dung on this. This is costing you money. Okay, here we go. Who donned the cover of GQ, topless and covered in snakes? I wasn't committed. I wasn't committed. Do I still call him? It was like a half a buzzer. It's like, I really don't know this, but I'm going to give it a shot. Goes to Joel, yes.
Christina Aguilera.
Christina Aguilera is incorrect. Now, because you didn't wait for you didn't wait for the multiple choice.
Oh, yes!
Oh.
Don't celebrate yet. If you get it wrong, you don't get a damn dime.
Okay.
Covered topless, covered in snakes. Was it Rihanna, Lana Del Rey, Pink, or Lady Gaga? Covered in snakes. Who was it? You have 3 seconds.
Wait, can you say
Sarah.
one more?
Dung. You now have 1 second.
Lady Gaga? I'd have no idea.
Is that the right answer? No, it's not. I keep the money.
Is this how you treat your waiters at a
All
table
right.
too?
Who was
This is what I do with the waiters. I
Rihanna?
go, if
Was
you
it
can tell
Rihanna?
me what I'd like to eat, I've got a $5 Chris Little Lincoln for you. Which pop star is telling her peers to stop getting naked? Is it Miley Cyrus, Katy Perry, Britney Spears, or Selena Gomez?
Dung.
Dung. Sarah rings in.
Katy Perry?
Katy Perry. Which pop star is telling her peers to stop getting
I have
naked?
a second answer.
You don't get a second
She has a
answer.
second answer, but her first answer is correct. $5 over to Sarah.
5.
Our next question. What did Kanye hint that he will have at his wedding to Kim? I think it already happened. It's an old question. All right, he hinted that he would have Siberian tigers, gold carriage, fighter jets, leather suits. It's one of those 4.
Dung.
Dunging in is Sarah.
Fighter jets?
Fighter jets. Is that the right answer? They already had their wedding. I don't recall any fighter jets, but he did hint that he would have fighter jets.
What? Yes.
How about a 5 for Top Girl?
Wow. Yes.
Top Girl. She's flying into the danger zone with fighter jets. Correct answer.
But I have to get new registration on my car. I got pulled over by a police man, and I was crying, and he let me go.
A policeman caught man? Is that what you said?
You know what she's doing right now? Joel's her old friend. She feels really bad taking his money, so she has to justify.
Fine, whatever.
No, I've
never seen a contestant. I've never seen a contestant turn to someone she's kicking the ass of and go, "I'm going to win the next one too." So I want to warn you right now that I need him more than
She's also telling me, "Don't buzz in. Don't buzz in."
seriously.
Is that what she's saying?
No, no.
I apologize for nothing.
This is from the category Scar Search.
Scar search.
Scar Search.
Interesting.
Celebrities that have had surgery. Which Friends star admitted to getting a nose job at 16? Now, you can do it all you want, Sarah, but you're not first. Joel?
Jennifer Aniston.
My God. See, I see what your strategy is. You're going to buzz in without the multiple choices.
Shit!
Now, Sarah gets to zen out and just calmly listen for the answers.
Forgot about the multiple choice.
Could it be
Well, it's the multiple
Matthew
choices
Perry, Lisa Kudrow, David Schwimmer, or I was going to make up another one I couldn't think real fast because Jennifer Aniston's one of the choices. We know it's not that. 1 out of 3 chance. What is it, Sarah?
Lisa Kudrow?
Lisa Kudrow. Have you ever noticed her nose before? You might want to say that it has had some surgical enhancement. Another $5 for Sarah Sweet. Now she's turning maniacal with her laughing at the stars. That was a maniacal laugh.
No, I love winning. I love winning. I do.
Especially, how much is this 15 going to pay for? What's it going to pay for, Sarah?
I need cartridges for my electronic cigarette.
Okay. Oh my God, the girl's got priorities, ladies and gentlemen.
I need registration for my
Here we go. We're going over to country. Now, Joel comes from Kansas.
These are all multiple choice, right?
Yes, they're all multiple choice.
I'm from Colorado.
Really?
Yeah, it's close.
No Kansas whatsoever? Your dad's from Kansas?
Joel from Kansas.
It makes a good story, Joel. You should have gone with it. Which country star's tour bus was hit? They hit and killed a man in Indiana. Woo-hoo! Where'd you come up with this question, laughing at the stars? We're talking about somebody dying? It's not funny at all, but we're going to commit to it. Was it Brad Paisley, Faith Hill, Garth Brooks, or is it Jason Aldean? Yeah, that was Joel.
I'm going to go with Brad Paisley.
Brad Paisley.
Shot in the dark.
Sarah, you're up. That was a gentle way of saying you are wrong. At least he buzzed in and listened to the multiple choices. Is it you have left? You have Faith Hill, Garth Brooks, or Jason Aldean?
Faith Hill.
Faith Hill. We have Craig Shoemaker, the host, gets his $5 back.
It's Garth Brooks.
No, it's Jason Aldean.
Oh,
I've never even heard of before. I would have gone with that one. Okay.
Isn't that what I said?
Oh, Paisley.
All right, our next.
Aldean, clearly.
See, I didn't write these, so we don't have funny categories. It was supposed to be laughing at the stars. It was funny when I originally wrote this, but.
That's good. It's good.
Okay.
It's good. I'm into it.
All right.
I'm into it too.
Okay.
Because there's real money.
Here we go. This one's called "Hey, That's My Pal," Imoni. I just made that up.
That's good. I like
All
it.
right, I got a from the
like
fans
it.
out there. Okay, which sitcom star met his current wife while she was on her honeymoon? This sitcom star met his current wife while she was on her honeymoon with someone else.
What a dick.
I didn't know the guy she was married to. Kind of weird. She was married to a Nederlander. The guy's got lots of money, but she went with more money with this star. Ray Romano, Jerry Seinfeld, Tim Allen, or Matt LeBlanc. I guess I have to take it. Yeah,
That
you
was my
don't-
buzzer sound, so if you get it right.
Yeah, she went with you. You'll get half of the money, $250. Yes, what's it going
I'm
to
gonna say
be?
Matt LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc is incorrect. Joel, chance to finally make a dime. Ray Romano,
No.
Jerry Seinfeld, Tim Allen, or Matt LeBlanc.
Oh.
You say Matt LeBlanc, I'm just going to disqualify you from even playing again.
I'm going to go with Tim Allen.
Tim Allen, I was rooting
He was
for
in prison.
you.
He
He doesn't have money?
Does he?
Are you out of your mind? Can we stop for a moment?
Okay, all right.
I'm taking 5 back for being an idiot. Tim Allen doesn't have money?
I mean, money, like more money. Like.
Are you serious?
No.
Tim Allen? How about Buzz Lightyear? How about Home Improvement for 19,000 years?
One crazy ass bitch.
She's a crazy bitch.
Oh, take that back and don't call me a bitch. That's offensive.
She's a... Come up with another one. Okay. Are you serious?
Did we get
Tim
the right
Allen has
answer?
mega
No.
money. The right answer is Jerry Seinfeld.
Damn it.
That's what I
That was my
say.
second guess.
That was my second guess.
Okay.
Tim Allen's been to jail.
That's what I thought.
All right, here we go.
I don't know what that has to do with
This one is called Vomitorium. I just made that up too. There you go. God, you're quick.
He is quick.
Which star threw up on comedian Cheryl Underwood? Threw up on comedian Cheryl Underwood. Was it Sharon Osbourne, Justin Timberlake, Jason Sudeikis, or Sheryl Crow?
Dung.
What was that a burp or
Both, because every possible thing.
I know it was non-committal. You know what's happening right now? She's getting nervous that she's not getting them. You can even see it in her face. She's losing money by the moment. Okay.
I'll say Sharon Osbourne.
Sharon Osbourne, who threw up on? That was a very logical answer because they're both on a show called The Talk, and it's Sharon Osbourne.
Yay!
$5.
I was right.
I didn't take your money back, did I? Okay, you really got a lot of dough going on here. Okay, this one's called Hoedown. Our next category is called Hoedown.
Hoedown.
Hoedown. Which heartthrob singer is accused of sleeping with a prostitute? Who's not?
I love you, whores.
That's why it's laughing at the stars. I love you, whores. Is it Adam Levine, Justin Bieber, Nick Jonas, or Robin Thicke?
Dung.
Heartthrob singer accused of sleeping
Dung.
with a prostitute.
I said it. I said dung.
It is what?
Dung. Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber is absolutely right for
They've
another
all been
$5.
accused of it. Are you kidding me?
Joe, are you
That's-
throwing this one? You
they've
guys going to
been-
split it at the
no.
end?
No.
Something going on here? I really want you to win.
I know for a
I want you to
fact
at least get one right. All
what's
right?
his name has been accused of it.
Joel, next time, if you want to get one right,
No, come on.
did I ever tell you I was on Hollywood Squares and whenever they would call me for the secret square,
Throw it.
I was going, well, it could be, and I would like, agree, you could agree with this, and I would say the answer. So I'm not going to do that now.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, because it's not only one person playing, it's two. I am not choosing any favorites, but one of you has a lot more money. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Okay, that's what this is called. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. It's jungle out there. Which of these celebrities used to be in a cult? Okay? Celine Dion, Chris Hemsworth, Michelle Pfeiffer, Tom Hardy. Which of the... Joel looks like he knows. He's got his thinker pose.
What was the second one?
That doesn't sound confident. I'm just going with
Celine
whatever
Dion.
it is.
I'm going
It's
with
the
Celine
second-
Dion.
Celine Dion was never in a cult. Chance to steal.
Okay, can you repeat the names really quick?
Oh, geez.
There are two.
If it was the
that I
second
don't
one,
know.
then I'm gonna.
Chris Hemsworth, Michelle Pfeiffer, Tom Hardy. Which of those?
Chris Hemsworth.
You're not going to get it. You didn't get it.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes, exactly.
I
But
thought maybe it was her. I was gonna go with that.
That's why
and
the
then
last one you
threw me.
said.
Okay, here we go. This one's called Funny. Which former... We have great writers here. Which former SNL star defended Melissa McCarthy's cover pic on Elle, saying, "Not to overshare, but I have definitely snuck it into the bathroom a number of times. Ask my wife. That thing is thoroughly dog-eared."
What?
Was that Andy Samberg, Kevin Nealon, Will Ferrell, Jimmy Fallon, or John Lovitz?
Done.
Joel.
I'm gonna go with Lovitz just because it'll be bad if it's wrong.
Just because he happens to own the place where we're broadcasting.
He doesn't have a wife. Will Ferrell?
Damn it, she is smart, isn't she? She's smart.
Is it Will Ferrell?
But it's not. It's
Done.
Andy Samberg. Okay, here we go. We're still going to stay with the... What was that category?
Funny.
Oh, that was funny.
Funny.
Now we're going...
This is embarrassing.
all right, here we go. Now we're talking about nudity, okay? Celebrities who have been nude. Which celebrity stud tweeted a nude self-portrait of himself to promote his movie? Was it Channing Tatum, Josh Duhamel, Morgan Freeman, or Shia LaBeouf?
Dong.
Check out. Somebody wants to check out my private parts. check out the March of the Penguin.
I'm gonna call him that from now.
Is it Sarah? Is it Channing Tatum, Josh Duhamel, Morgan Freeman, or Shia LaBeouf?
Channing Tatum.
Which of them has been in the buff? It certainly was not Channing Tatum.
Okay,
Chance to
it.
steal, Joel. Which one of these has been in the buff?
Duhamel.
Are you out of your mind?
No.
I gave it to you.
Did you?
Twice
No.
I said, who's been in the buff?
I know, Shia LaBeouf.
Are you serious?
Wow.
I tried to hand it to him.
This wasn't a good enough
Oh
hint.
my God.
How many more?
All right, you know what? Our guest is waiting out there.
more.
He was
Two more.
naked in one of his
Roko
videos.
Belic
I
is
should've
out there,
known.
the director of Happy, and he wants to come in
I
here.
know, 2 more.
He's probably watching this going, I have to sit with those. Anyway. Anyway.
No,
okay.
he's happy. He's happy to do it.
All right. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Study for this.
This is called Dance the Frugal. Okay.
Did you come up with that one?
Just did, yes.
Nice.
Look, on the spot, I'm not,
Dance the
sometimes.
Frugal.
If I had time to think about these, which celebrity couple spent $142 on their wedding?
$142 on their wedding?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure I heard it.
Thank God I spent $175, or I would have been qualified for this. No, we spent a lot. Anyway, was it John Legend and Chrissy Teigen? Zoe Saldana and Marco Perego? Kerry Washington and Nnamdi Asomugha? Or Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell? Joel?
I'm going to go with Dax and Bell.
Dax and Bell. Sounds like a law firm of Dax and Bell. Thank you for calling Dax and Bell. That will cost you $142 and $5 to Joel, guys!
Yay!
I love that Sarah's now finally cheering for him, the pathetic cheer.
I didn't even know they were a couple. I like them as a couple.
Okay. This is a before they were stars question, okay?
Yeah.
This is I'll do anything for $1.
It's what we're doing now.
Pay your symbols, monkey.
I should dangle this in my teeth.
I mean, I'm looking
If
at
you
all
really
of it
want to be
thinking,
denigrated,
how
I
far
should just have this.
can I get registration
Okay,
for
here we go. Which A-list celebrity dressed as a chicken to promote El Pollo Loco? A-list celebrity. Is it Brad Pitt? Ben Affleck? Yes.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Was he ever a chicken at El Pollo restaurant? Yes, he was! Joel Geist, $5. You're catching Sarah.
I knew it.
One more final question. This one sort of leans towards Sarah.
Uh-oh.
Lame.
Okay? Because this guy's out of his effing mind.
Oh, ow. Burn.
That's not why. I think you know him because I know he's really good friends and he does your shows, your living room shows.
You're just telling her the answer. What the hell's going
No,
on
that's
here?
not the answer.
Okay.
Who's the craziest person you know that has done those shows before you? This is a way I can promote your show and get in the question. What is it?
Andy Dick.
Andy Dick. Here we go. Which of the following crimes has funny man Andy Dick not been arrested for? Okay, is it drunk and disorderly in public? Abuse in the first degree, allegedly grabbing another man's crotch, then repeatedly groping him? Was it suspicion of drug possession and sexual battery? Or hit and run, allegedly backed into paparazzi and took off?
Bong.
Yes.
Hit and run?
Hit and run. Andy Dick, who actually Sarah knows personally, has committed quite a few crimes.
Probably hit and run.
Has he ever committed a hit and run? It's one that we actually...
Because he's just like pulling it out.
We made it up, and it is the correct answer. Sarah Sweet, another $5. Let's give us the total, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Andy Dick is
5,
crazy, but he
10,
doesn't run away.
15, 20, 25, $30 to Sarah Sweet. Joel's winnings are $10. And that's how we play Laughing at the Stars. Thank you all for playing. I hope you played along at home. Next time it will be with a contestant.
stars.
Thank you.
I love laughing with the stars.
Laughing at the stars, okay?
Laughing
Let's get the
at the
name of our
stars.
game straight. It's Laughing at the Stars with Joel, and Sarah will play next week, and we'll have $10 prizes.
You're kidding.
For holiday season,
And 3
yes.
questions.
And a caller. Call in.
1.5 questions, of which you will
Love
get none of them, and I'll keep all the money. Okay, we're going to play a little clip of the director of a movie who you definitely want to see this movie. It's called Happy. I believe we're actually going to give you a discount for the movie. Let's see a little clip of it, and then Roko Belic will be coming up in just a sec.
Thanks, Craig. That was...
What do you want out of life?
I don't know. To be happy? To be happy.
I want the American dream. I want to be happy.
The professor said to me, you can never measure happiness. Now, why they thought you could measure depression, which they were all doing, but you couldn't measure happiness, I'm not sure.
This is a paradise to me. That's why I love it so much. And then you don't know what you're gonna see.
When I was run over by a truck, my whole life changed.
There is a great deal you can do on a regular basis to become happier.
There we are. Oh no, but we should have. We've already got him stripping.
That's right.
We got him stripping. How many guests will strip for us?
right.
Look at that. It does mess up the green screen. That's
Perfect.
fabulous.
I was almost invisible.
Roko Belic is our guest, who actually directed the movie we just saw a clip from, Happy. You released it last year?
Yes.
A year ago?
Yes.
I happened to see it, but guess what? Here's the good news. This very rarely happens when we have a guest. Sarah did too. I didn't
Sarah
realize this.
Hero.
You didn't do it for
Yeah.
research. You
No,
actually
I did
just
it.
happened
Yeah, months ago I saw it.
months ago.
Mhm.
And give us a
loved it.
review.
It was awesome.
He already knows my review. I met with him and everything.
No, you guys do it. Do it.
No,
I'm
no.
a little nervous.
I met with him and I even watched the director's notes.
Oh, did you?
And he goes, "Wow, you really did."
Yeah, he totally did. But wait, Sarah, you just did. I loved it. It was awesome. If I had heard that before, I would have put your quote on the front of the DVD packaging.
It was awesome.
I loved it. It was awesome. It doesn't get better than that. So
Yeah.
thank you.
I was trying to remember on the way over here who recommended it because there were a few people that recommended it, and then I thought maybe it was Joel, but it wasn't.
A lot of people recommend it because it's a really different piece. It's not something you see every day, and it's about something that should be discussed more. Is basically how are we happy? Is it's something that human beings we're
In
the
a
only
way,
ones that can be happy.
This is
Basically,
going to sound really stupid,
Yeah.
but when I started making this movie, I thought I was going to find groups of people that were better at teaching me about happiness. In fact, there is no group of people that I found in the whole world who's not interested in happiness, who's not pursuing it in some way. Now, a lot of us, we're not aware of it, but the things that we do on a daily basis are ultimately designed to make us happy in the long run, right? Whether it's having a
Really?
good job or, isn't that just the way people function? You think that having more money, let's say, or being good looking, or having a great
that's
job.
still pursuing happiness.
Yeah, you
essentially.
think, right, we think of that happiness is going to be the byproduct, right? I mean, that's sort of the assumption. You have a radio show.
So
a
even if someone's
podcast.
greedy, like a Monsanto corporation, even those people, they're happy.
Well, no,
They know that they're actually creating bad things for people.
I think
stealing all the money.
That's actually I'm saying that people's goal in life
Is to
in
be
general,
happy.
is to be happy, right?
Yeah.
Whether you work for Monsanto or whether you're.
Well, what if
starving
you're a
artist or
devil
whatever.
worshiper?
That is very interesting. I would say,
Like if you're into the occult, they don't remind me of a smiley, happy people. But then again, though, that could be their form of happiness.
fulfillment is a facet of happiness that I think is valid there.
Okay, so they're fulfilling something Beelzebubish.
Yeah,
where they're going, Beelzebubby.
That's it.
Listen, it's making me happy that I'm sacrificing a lamb or something. So everyone in some form is trying to find. This is what your conclusion from the movie.
Well, I mean, this is the kind of obvious thing that I didn't really think about when I started, and so ultimately, I never found a group of people who's not interested in happiness. And again, that's obvious, but the great thing about that is it filled up my 6 years of my life trying to figure out then how to make a single movie about it, because there were so many things to talk about, so many angles, so many ideas. And thankfully, there's a science about happiness now. So Western scientists had never thought it was something
Once
that we
you
could
found
study.
that
helped
then
a lot.
everything sort of came together.
It started coming together. That's right. We finally had a skeleton because I didn't want to make a movie about people's opinions about happiness. Right? Everybody has an opinion. But
then you could go to every single person.
Yeah, and then it would be a 50 million part series, and it wouldn't be worth anything. But thankfully, there's a science, and that's really what the spine of the
It's
film
a
is.
neuroscience and has to do with a mind-body
It
connection.
has to do with neurophysiology. It also has to do with psychology and things that we're learning in those fields.
So
Psychiatry,
basically, it's
psychology.
just in the brain.
Yes, and the brain's connection to the world, if you will. Through our body, through our relationships, through our experiences. Through
Was
our
there a
senses.
conclusion of oneness, that we're all kind of one on the planet? Was that part of the...
That was sort of my conclusion before, that was probably when I was a teenager. That feels right.
He's actually...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
still have that conclusion. I
I
thought he was
still
going,
do.
Craig, that's an
Yeah.
old thing,
Yeah,
you hold on to that, Craig, that little oneness thing. I'm beyond your little oneness. Okay, that's how I took it. But
Never.
So you do believe in the oneness. Me as well.
Well, I asked one of the researchers who studied happiness longer than anyone else in America, this guy named Ed Diener. I said, is there some trait that all happy people share? And he said, well, some people have to have a job that they really love. They get to be on the radio, or they get to have podcasts and make people laugh. Other people, they could flip burgers and they may not care about the job, but it gives them enough freedom to do the things they love.
Yeah.
So jobs are different. You don't all have to have the best job in the world, but every single happy person he had ever studied for 30 years had good relationships. Now, it doesn't mean that they were good at relationships, meaning that they didn't love everybody, they didn't have a million friends, they weren't necessarily the life of the party, but it basically meant that they were capable of being a good friend, and that they loved somebody and somebody loved them.
I don't remember that in the movie. That was one of the conclusions?
Well, yeah, that's what Ed Diener said. I sort of helped sum it up a little bit more clearly right now.
Okay.
But that's very interesting to me. In terms
Yeah.
of our connection, we can think that our happiness comes from our circumstances. A lot of us do, right? A lot of us say your happiness comes from your health, or having a good job, or being in a safe neighborhood, or whatever. All those things do contribute, but they contribute only a tiny bit compared to what they call intrinsic things like relationships, feeling part of something bigger, feeling like you're doing something valuable, like I know you are, Craig. I mean, both of you guys, by being part of the show, you're not just entertaining people. There's something deeper. There's something more profound.
Actually, that was the initial reason that Sarah and I got together. Is we've both been in self-involved businesses for years of stand-up comedy, which, at least for me, I can't speak for you, was sort of self-fulfilling, and I wanted to get laid.
Yeah.
Make a little easy money. So,
Sure,
I mean,
fine.
it initially started as that, but then it became more purposeful, and that is why we do this.
Yeah.
And that's why we have you here, is because we not only love to be silly and funny and goofy and give Sarah $5 for answering a question properly, but we really want to explore this with people and invite people into this exploration of an alternative way to look at your life. And there are alternative ways to do it, and that's what the movie shows. You go all over the world. Now, did you yourself, as the director, did you go to India? I think you went to Denmark, if I recall, and there's a community. There's people that live in this community. I thought that was really fascinating.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, so I went to most of the places. My brother and my friend who produced the film with me got to go to places like Denmark. I didn't go to Denmark. At that moment, I was in the Kalahari Desert among the San people. shooting another part of the film.
I love that was his answer. I was going with the Philly thing, like, oh, shoot you for 1, 2, 3, shoot. I thought that's how I get Denmark odds or evens, or it
was kind of
or
like
paper
that.
rock scissors. But I was in the Kalahari. And where were you again?
It was in the middle of nowhere. It was incredible.
Yeah.
But so in Denmark,
you were doing a piece there. You took
Exactly.
a camera there. How does it work? You have cameras. You have to have a consistent camera. Is that correct?
Yeah, we had 3 cameras that were all identical. They were about $5,000 cameras, so what they call prosumer. So they're professional quality, but they're not like the $100,000 cameras that some people use.
Yeah.
And that enabled us to travel easily because they're pretty small and light. And I went to Kalahari by myself, essentially, because it's expensive to get there. And so I hired somebody who could speak one of the semi-local languages, and then we hired another person who could speak the dialect that the tribe actually spoke. So
the Bushmen.
Yes, yeah.
They have that. You should have me come in there.
You could have translated for us. Greg, come on, that's it. You got it. It's an incredible language.
I'd speak that to my children.
It's totally. Speaking of, I have a 2.5-year-old baby, and when I ask her, whenever she gets a new stuffed animal, I say, "What's this one's name?" And she'll make up some weird sounding.
That's.
And she makes these sounds that most adults don't make. And I think that reveals that the spectrum of our language capability is much broader than I thought.
Yeah, and you grew up speaking languages like Russian, right?
Well, Serbo-Croatian, which is like a cousin of the Russian language.
Karkvasha familia?
Oh, that Belic.
Oh, Belic, yeah, not Belic. I call you Belic, and and it's Belic.
That's right.
That's where it is in Russia.
He just asked, what is my family name? What's my last name?
Tiochen-Krasifia.
Oh, spasibo.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. He said I'm beautiful. You see, now he's embarrassing me and himself. Guys,
the reason I'm embarrassing myself is it's all I know because I studied Russian to hit on chicks.
Did it work?
So I just told him he looks beautiful.
You see?
Because that's all I know.
That's awesome.
They would all go, spasibo. I'll go, I'm in now. I used to hang out with the Reebok aerobic champions of Russia.
Nice.
So I learned Tiochen-Krasifia. And
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was. So I just tried it on you, and he knew what I
worked,
said.
yes.
It didn't work with them, but him, I got a blush out of.
You see.
I might even get his number. Belic.
Speaking of blush, guys, when I walked in here, it was about 2 degrees, and I realized the energy in this room. Like, you guys are generating your own heat, but I think they just turned the AC off because I'm not wearing my jacket, so I hope you guys don't start dripping here.
No, we're okay.
Nice.
Yeah, we're
Good.
all right. How are you okay? Are you
I'm
comfortable
I
in
feel
here with
great.
us?
I'm happy. I could live here.
I'm happy. You can
Yes.
be happy anywhere, though.
That's
So
right,
you're
I'm
with the
moving in.
Bushmen. I am
Yeah.
fascinated with the Bushmen ever since I saw the movie. Have you ever seen Gods Must Be Crazy?
Oh, yeah.
One of the great movies of its time where they drop a Coke bottle in
I
the...
actually filmed our sequence right near that area.
Yeah.
So the guy who was in that movie passed away a few years ago, but he lived in the village near the end of the road where we took off from to shoot.
And you went and shot. And how were you received by the Bushmen?
Very warmly. They're very kind people in the sense that anybody who's traveling, it's one of those cultures where a traveler is welcome. Because you never know when you might be traveling and need some help. So, they kind of welcome you in as a default. But what was really interesting, it's the only place I've ever been in the world where people are not curious about my camera. So everywhere you go, you go to Tibet, you go to just anywhere else, other parts of Africa, people want to see your
on
camera.
camera, looking
yeah,
at
they
the
kind of want to
camera.
see a picture. They want
Right.
to see through the viewfinder or look at the screen.
Yeah.
And there they just were happy. I don't know what it was. My interpretation is they were just content with their lives as they were. This camera that looked very strange. They don't have electricity there. They get everything from the sun, from the land. They hunt. It's a very different way to exist in the world than we do. And
they literally live off of the world.
Absolutely.
They respond to the world. They're not
That's right.
making handmade...
They're not disconnected like we are.
Right.
We have, my iPhone, I have no
Exactly.
idea how that thing is made.
Yeah.
Right. And for them, everything they have and use, they know how to make it because they make it.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And it's a simplicity. I've actually learned, not from them, but my wife is very simplistic. I don't want to say simple. People think, it's a strange word to say because of what the connotation is. She's
we mean
simple,
it in a positive way.
simple-minded, like she's at the dunce cap. But no, she's very simple. I really enjoy that. I'm not making my own iPhone. It's not to that point.
Right.
And I don't have 2 cans and a string to talk to my kids, but I really do enjoy that aspect, and it makes me happy.
Yeah, there's something strange, and this I don't know. No scientist talked to me about this, but There's something bizarre about the power of, I want to say nature, but without sounding too new agey or whatever. There's something that human beings get out of being in a natural state, whether it's watching the sunrise or looking at the ocean. You know, it doesn't matter if you could be the most hardcore urban person.
Yeah.
But you see like a real landscape of mountains in Colorado, and you can't not be in some kind of awe, right? Like 99.9% of us will feel something. And that's pretty cool. And I think that's related to what I saw in the Bushmen, that they're just connected to this all the time.
And it's slowed down too. And I think that's a
Compared
really,
to our lifestyle, absolutely, yeah.
I went for a hike one time in the mountains, and I'll never forget this. It was like one of those moments that you're not going to forget. And this guy Cliff says to me, he's from England. He goes, "Hey mate, why don't you go over there and I'm going to go over here and just sit on a rock and listen for God's pace."
Wow.
And I went. At first, I had abandonment issues. I thought I was annoying. I thought I was annoying him, so he was going, "Mate, get out of my space." This is what at first I thought that, and then I took it in and I went, "Okay, I'm going to do that." And I sat on this rock, just overlooking this incredible scape. I mean, and it was amazing to me. And I understood at that moment that God's pace is so slow that He formed all of this, and His pace is it's backwards. It's so slow to create something like a Grand Canyon or mountain ranges or every single leaf on a tree. All of it is created in a very slow pace, and we are trying to kind of contradict what that pace is and go at our own and increase the pace. So then I was in New York the very next week, and I walked to my agent's office, and I'll never forget this either. I was in the lobby, and I could feel my entire body going because of all this man-made neon and lights and honking horns and cars and I remember thinking to myself, I'd rather be with God's pace. I'd rather go back to that because it's so simple and beautiful.
I grew up in a city. I'm a Chicago kid. You know, I love the city. I like cars. I rode my motorcycle here. I'm a person of the modern world, and yet it still has such a power on us. I mean, that in a way it makes sense because, again, at risk of sounding like a new age, whatever, we are children of the earth in the sense that you're made of things that the earth is made of. I interviewed a guy. This is pretty crazy. I interviewed a guy named Lawrence Krauss, who wrote a book called The Science of Star Trek. So this is a real astrophysicist looking at Star Trek and saying what's sort of viable and what's not. And he told me something that I'll never forget. He said that the molecules that make up your right hand were born in a different star billions of years ago than the molecules that make up your left hand. Right? We are literally made of molecules that were created when stars were born, and that different parts of our body came from different stars, light years away, that's through some, coincidence happened to merge on Earth, and here we are, and that make up who we are. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like I think of my body that when I die, it's going to disappear. But it's not. It's going to become a different form. It's going to grow into a plant. Somebody's going to eat it, some animal. It's going to become corn, and some kid's going to eat it. It's, we don't disappear. We are a part of this incredible cycle that's on this pace, like you said, that is so drawn out. It's almost shocking to think of that, because we think of ourselves on a daily pace or even an hourly pace, maybe a weekly pace. And
it's a global pace. It's a universal pace.
That's right.
And it just, that's when you see a shooting star. That happened thousands of years ago, right? And we're seeing it in the present.
But that's right. I think stars are like that. Shooting stars, I think, are actually coming through the atmosphere fairly recently. I think, right? Shooting stars are what happens when little specks get...
I think it's thousands of years ago or something like that.
Can we look that up?
Can we look that up so one of us sounds smart?
That's right. We need a studio scientist here. Yeah. But the point is that it's very easy for us to look at our lives with blinders on, and sometimes by opening up, whether we're opening up to the spectrum of time or to the fact that we're made of stardust or whatever, it can help us ease into something that feels more pleasant, that makes us feel more content, and can ultimately bring happiness.
Yeah. Well, now, let me ask you something. From doing the movie, did you find yourself becoming more happy even as you were making the movie?
Yeah, that's a weird question because
and then when you find out how much documentaries don't make, did you get unhappy?
Then I got unhappy, yeah. No, actually, I feel very lucky to be able to do the work that I'm doing. Like, I haven't starved to death yet. and it's been 20-some years that I've been making films that I care about, so that's a good thing. But when I started, I was a pretty happy guy. And to be honest, I was sort of arrogantly thinking, well, this movie is going to give me an opportunity to share some of the wisdom that I had as a 35-year-old. That's what I thought, because I'd seen people, friends my age from school were already in ruts in their lives. Some of them, not all, but they were already thinking, they could see the horizon and there was nothing exciting on it. Whereas my life was constantly changing. So I thought, I'll share some of this wisdom. The truth, that was a stupid way to think about it, but that's all. That was my only perspective. After going to Denmark and seeing that community there, after hearing about the importance of relationships, the importance of play, surfing that I hadn't done in 12 years because I had been a grown-up, and surfing is something that you don't do as a responsible adult. After hearing about all these things, I moved to Los Angeles to be closer to some of my childhood friends, specifically to Mobile Home Park, so that I could be in a community like we saw in Denmark. And specifically, that Mobile Home Park is near the beach, so I could surf again.
Yeah, right on it.
So I'm doing all these things that are stimulating my happiness and promoting it. And then my girlfriend and I, we've been together for like 10 years at the time. We looked around at all these kids growing up healthy, happy, vibrant, and we said, what a great place to raise a kid. And 2.5 years ago, we had a baby. So it's all directly because of making this movie.
Oh, really?
Completely
That was the
changed
result.
my life. Yeah.
And you started the movie 6 years ago.
Right.
I believe Tom Shadyac. Do you know who Tom Shadyac is?
I know the name.
He's a really, really big director who started with, I'd say, probably Ace Ventura with Jim Carrey, and he did Nutty Professor and all of those. He's done like multi-million-dollar movies, and he hit a certain point in his life where he sort of had a transformation and a transition, and like that moment where he went, what's this all worth? I have a mansion. He went and made his own movie about this, basically what happened to him, and now he's riding a bicycle, he teaches, and it's not about the money anymore as much.
Right.
And he also lives in your community. And
that's right.
And he approached you, right?
Yes.
To do this film.
Yeah, and Tom's interesting. So he's made the Nutty Professor, Bruce Almighty, Liar, Liar, these huge movies, right? He's achieved the extreme version of the American dream. And he said when he first bought a huge house in Beverly Hills, coming from the East Coast, that sort of symbolized making it, right?
Sure.
Success. Right. He said he stepped into the entranceway of his house, the movers walked out, they closed the door, and he had this overwhelming feeling that he was absolutely no happier with this house than he was before he bought it.
Yeah.
And
probably less happy.
It just didn't help at all. And he said that sort of bugged him on and off for years while he bought the bigger house and the tennis court and the swimming pool and all this stuff, until he realized that the people who swept his floors and who tended the garden were happier than many of his friends in Hollywood who had even more money than him.
Yeah.
And that started him on a really important, life-changing quest, which yes, resulted in him buying a double-wide mobile home.
It's funny that his moment, I had the same moment, not from me being wealthy, but I got a tour one time by this guy who married this woman with money. And I will never forget this either. And she's really, really famous. And she actually inherited her money. She's famous for having a famous father. And he's showing me the place. I'll never forget. He's going, wow, man, look at what I have. And I remember thinking to myself, well, first of all, you have that one thought of, well, you didn't earn this, from being the husband of somebody who inherited money. I don't know how you think that you're entitled to this, but the major thing I came up with is whenever someone's giving you that tour of their house, there's no one happy with that tour. They're giving you the tour going, look what I have. And there's not a single person on the tour going, oh, this is fantastic. Oh, my God, does this make me happy? Here's something. Take me to another room that I don't have. Oh, my God, look at that tub. I can fit my whole family in there. That's amazing. This is fantastic. And I remember saying to myself, this ain't making you happy because, first of all, I'm going to resent you if I wasn't a little more evolved than I am. But if I was someone else, I'd be completely resenting it about him giving me this tour and saying to myself, you didn't do anything to deserve this. But even if he did do something to deserve it, there's no one on that tour that's happy.
Yeah.
So I imagine he probably came to this conclusion. I have a funny story about that I didn't tell you. That I was in acting class sitting behind his ex-wife when they first divorced, Tom's ex-wife. And I'll never forget her looking at homes that she was about to move into, and she was deciding on these multi-million-dollar homes. I was like looking over her shoulder going, oh, take that one. That's unbelievable, that home. And I remember that moment of saying, wow, I don't think whatever home she's
It's
going
not
to
about
pick.
the money. Yeah, it's not about the
because they're
home.
about to sever a relationship.
Right.
There's going to be sadness attached to it, and this ain't going to fix it.
You know, in a way, in that moment, you understood some of the key ideas that the scientists are now discovering or rediscovering or fortifying our knowledge of, which is that it's these things that are intangible. It's not the house, the car, and we kind of know this. We've kind of heard it before, right? The tabloid
money doesn't
newspapers-
buy you happiness.
Yeah, we kind of know
like,
it, but and yet, I don't know a single person who doesn't want to be richer, right? Right? Like we know it, but it goes sort of in one brain cell and out the other. Like we just don't quite embrace that fully, and that's what making the movie helped me recalibrate my priorities, so that I really do think sometimes, well, I do have to work, I do need to make some money, but if a friend of mine's in town and I haven't seen him, or if a friend of mine came through town and is getting divorced, I got to be there for them. That's just period. It's not just for them. It's not just an altruistic thing,
Right.
but it connects me in a way that actually is meaningful for me. It's the way we're designed. You know, one thing that sort of frustrated me early on, I mean, when I was a kid, I would hear people say, they would criticize somebody who was, let's say, going to volunteer for the holidays. Oh, so-and-so is going to the soup kitchen because it makes them feel better. That's the only reason, you know. And I thought, well, there's something weird about that. It just doesn't feel like something that's correct to criticize. And sure enough, the scientists say, well, that's the way we're designed. We are built to feel good when we help each other. That's the whole freaking point.
Yeah.
Like, that's a beautiful thing. That's not a bad thing.
Well, truthfully,
Right? You
I
don't wanna
actually
have
hit a
to
point in my
suffer.
life where if I make more money, my intention is to spread that wealth around. And yeah, it just happened. What did I give you, $20?
Right.
It was 30. Okay, she's counting. But
So I guess I'm still stuck in the money.
Well, all of us are. That's the thing. No, we really all are. And it's
she wants more
hard.
questions.
You know, the things are expensive in our culture. You know, in the Bushman culture, money doesn't exist. They don't buy and sell things.
Yeah.
They make things.
It
they
really
trade.
is an illusion, though. Money really is an illusion. When you see stocks and things
Well,
like that,
but
it really is
It's
an
a
illusion.
game. It's part of a game that people
that
buy
we're
into.
trapped in
Yeah.
a way that we have certain things, obligations that we do need to meet. You know,
That's right, and
granted,
that's
they
why it's
don't-
normal for us.
survival things.
But we've set those up that we need to meet them. I mean,
No,
you know.
I mean, yeah, but as a whole society, we're all agreeing, and these are the rules that we all have to live by, like for, car stuff and, you know.
Paying rent.
Paying rent.
Right,
for
it
food.
costs a
Totally.
certain amount if you want to live in a certain area, but you don't have to live in that area. You could actually be a bushman if you really get broke and can't pay the radiator.
Well, there's a guy named. Do you guys know Tom Hartman? He's a great guy. He's an author and he has a radio show, and he explained this very well in Tom Shadyack's documentary. He said that it's true that when you are absolutely broke, hungry, wet, cold, tired, a little bit of material help goes a long way. A warm bowl of soup, a place to sit by the fire,
which costs money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could think of it that way.
Even if there's a little bit of
there's
money.
some resources that really help you out.
Yeah.
But and that's the truth of it. The lie of it is that the more fire, the more soup, the more house you get, the better and happier you'll keep. It's not that way. It actually plateaus.
Right.
So when you're down at the bottom, it helps a lot
Yeah.
to have a roof over your head, to have some safety, some food. But once you have those things, more of that stuff doesn't add up, and in fact, it can have a negative impact.
Now, how did you grow up? Did you grow up with money or
I think
privilege?
I had the very lucky upbringing where my parents were divorced when I was a kid, which isn't necessarily good, of course. But I saw my father they were both very frugal. They both came from Eastern Europe, from Yugoslavia and Czechoslovakia. So we never had a family culture of wasting and taking things for granted. But my father was a doctor and basically had more money than he needed. And my mom went to school to become a beautician, and we lived with her, and we always had a little bit less money than we.
You lived with her primarily or
Yeah,
exclusively?
no, exclusively. I mean, we saw my dad on the weekends. It
Oh,
was
you
the
did see him on
standard-
weekends.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got to see both worlds. Now, my dad actually moved into a tiny one-bedroom house and bought a Jeep, so he never lived ostentatiously.
Right.
But I just knew that when it came to buying clothes for school or books or whatever, he was the guy with the money, and my mom never had money. We never had a car or anything. My mom never had a car. We were taking taxis or borrowing, getting rides from friends. So I kind of saw both worlds. within a narrow spectrum.
How was your mom's perspective of not having money, and did she resent your father for not sharing more of his wealth?
No, I mean, he did help. He gave, child support, and he did his job. He did that very responsibly. And my mom never resented anything. She actually is so grateful to be in
So
America.
you grew up happy then?
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I had
so
a
you
good
were
upbringing.
coming from, I wonder if that's part of the reason that Shadyak approached you. He would never approach me. I grew up miserable.
Well, I was very lucky.
I hated being poor.
Yeah, see, we did.
I used to resent people with money. It was terrible the way I lived. I would literally smash into their cars if they had a nice car. I would smash in. I'd take my $100 car and smash into theirs. That's how I felt. I had such resentment and bitterness because it was set up, by my mom. Well, those bastards have the money. They have your happiness.
No, in my family, my mom was very grateful. She came from Czechoslovakia, which is basically a country where anybody who had any money at all got it taken away by the Russians who invaded. So sort of the idea was...
It was communist.
Yeah, it was communist.
It wasn't the Czech Republic, it was Czechoslovakia.
Right, and communism, that form of communism meant that, or the interpretation was for them, that anybody with money had lied and cheated and stolen, so they need to take all that wealth away.
Level it out.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it didn't make everybody sort of middle ground. It made everybody poor.
Yeah.
And so even, my mom never begrudged anything. Even though we didn't have money compared to a lot of people, we still had heat and electricity most of the time.
Yeah.
And, we had an apartment, and so we're good. We were totally good. And my mom taught me to appreciate everything.
And why do you think that Tom approached you to do that? Tom had just done a movie called I Am. I don't know if you've seen that. And there's actually some research and science in that, with the... It basically it talked about his story of where he came to this point of what are we, basically.
Well,
and that was
so
the
he
premise.
had made these huge movies, but this question was sort of in his head, and then he got in a bike accident, and he had post-concussion syndrome, which is extreme sensitivity to light and sound, and that got him thinking. The way he explained it to me is, look, I may not survive much longer. This is so painful. It sort of reminded him of all of our mortality. Said, if I'm not going to make it too much longer, what is it that I want to leave behind? And it's this idea, this conversation about happiness and about
an
wealth.
Internal conversation.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, and a reflection.
And
of,
how? This is curious. I don't want to make this about him necessarily, but how is he with friendships? And does he have long-lasting? Mine are still the same from childhood. I imagine yours are as well.
I
you
do
have
too.
a lot of
and
a lot of friends. You mentioned if some friend came in town, they were getting divorced, you would be there for them.
Yeah,
Same way with us. There's a group of 10 of us still go away together, and one of them has cancer now, and we all rally
You're part
behind
of the same
him.
team.
And
That
you're part of a
helps
team.
lot.
I'm curious. Somebody like Tom, did he detach from them once he became and thought that the wealth was going to do that?
No, I mean, some of his best friends are from youth.
Still,
his
okay.
cousin.
So he does come from that perspective.
He knows that there's a real value to that. I mean, and that's not rocket science, right? We sort of intuitively know that, but a lot of people do shirk their old relationships in order for this new, exciting, glamorous life they're going to find in Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't tend to work. But Tom had made these huge movies, rethought everything, and he approached me, I guess, because I had some success with my first movie,
and
a
that
movie called
was
Genghis Blues.
Oh.
And that was, it ended up winning Sundance and getting nominated for an Oscar, which for
but
my
it's
brother
so different
and I,
than a documentary, though, Genghis Blues. I mean, I'm surprised that he would come to you
as
not a documentarian, but a filmmaker, I guess.
Yeah, well, Genghis Blues is a documentary. It's about a blues guy. Yeah, maybe you're thinking of something else. Genghis Blues is a documentary about an amazing blues guy. And I think Tom we had known each other for a few years, and so he knew that I was a filmmaker, a documentarian, and he wasn't at the time.
I didn't realize that was a documentary. Have you ever seen Genghis Blues?
See, that's how famous it is.
I was thinking of Genghis Khan.
Oh, right, yeah. No, Genghis
he had the blues, all those people he invaded.
That's right.
I thought it was. I had a whole other story. Maybe that's the movie we'll write next.
There you go.
But so he came to you knowing that this was your field, basically, and he came to you and he said, "I want to make a movie
about happiness, exploring happiness." He basically said, "Look, I know what doesn't work. I got it. I've got the big house and the swimming pool and the tennis court. I want to know what does work." And that was fascinating to me. And then I immediately got online and discovered this science called positive psychology. That's the scientific word for the study of happiness.
Yeah. It's interesting. I talked to Dr. Drew. I don't know if you know Dr. Drew.
Sure.
We actually interviewed him on camera the other day. I did his podcast. And he talked a lot about the science of it. And the community is so important.
Right.
And I just want to, if anyone gets a message out there that's what That's what we should strive for, is more communities. Yesterday, I went to my neighbors and asked them for olive oil, which is the modern day, can I have a cup of sugar? But since everybody's off of sugar now, and they gave me olive oil. You know what I mean? And it's like that I could just go knock on their door and they're handing me olive oil, and they even educated me on, well, you know, the extra virgin you shouldn't cook with. And I'm, why? And then we have a discussion. And that, to me, made me so happy. And it didn't cost me anything. As a matter of fact, I used their oil. It cost me zero.
That's right. No, the strange thing about that is that kind of behavior is sort of bred out of us, right?
Yeah.
Or at least our culture says to us that success looks like big house, big lawn, big wall or fence, maybe some security cameras, and basically keeping everybody out.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
That is what we think of when we look at Michael Jackson's ranch or whatever. We go, oh, that'd be amazing. But you're alone in there.
Oh, he was a shut-in.
And community is. I wish there was a more sexy word for it, because community sounds so kind of 70s or something. But it's true. You nailed it. That is.
Well, commune would sound 70s or 60s.
Yeah, and somehow even community.
But community sounds
spark.
50s actually.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
living on a cul-de-sac in a planned neighborhood is the community.
Right.
Yeah, it's communing. It would be a better word for
or
it.
hanging out. You know, it's like hanging out.
That would
having
be
friends,
the modern term.
right?
I love hanging out. We should hang out sometime.
Look
All
at
right,
that.
brother? Let's
Yes.
hang out.
Good.
By the way, next week, Justin Willman.
He did the living room show last time.
Justin Willman did?
Yeah, he did magic.
He's the host of Cupcake Wars. He'll be here next week. Roko Belic. I'm going to speak Russian to you. Really great having you. Tiochin Krasivia. You hunky
So
guy.
where
You.
can we see? Where
Yes.
can we get it? Is
Oh,
it
right,
still
this-
on
Here, we
Insta?
got that. Look at
Guys,
this.
it's actually a promo code.
Shoe Show.
That's
Can you
right.
read that? Shoe Show.
So here's.
Let's get this movie.
Yes, there it is.
Okay? And you can do Shoe Show promo code. You get 25% off of the DVDs.
Where do they enter the promo code?
That's right. This is on our website, thehappymovie.com.
thehappymovie.com. So if you go there, and this is a great stocking stuffer because it's about happiness, and this is what you want your children, and this is something you watch with your whole community.
Right.
And you can watch it with your family and your friends and get together and watch a movie about happiness, and then you talk about it afterwards. And then if you really have no time like I did, listen to the director's notes. I had no idea. I thought it'd be a few notes. He goes through the whole movie. He goes, here we are. That's my girlfriend in the shot with the dogs. We thought we'd throw her in there. And he says like every single thing. He's in there, and he's in like some basement somewhere narrating the entire film. But I got through even the director. That's how interesting the movie was for me. It's a really fascinating movie. That's why I want to have you in as our second week guest.
Wow.
So make sure you go to Shoe Show, and the promo code, go to thehappymovie.com.
Excellent.
Thank you for being here. Hey, everybody, be with us next week. Justin Willman will be here, and of course, Sarah will be here. Maybe we'll make you even richer. We're going to play for double the money next week, Laughing at the Stars. We hope you laughed at us today. By the way, certified hosting. I've got to say one more thing about certified hosting. This is great to do the live reads on the fly because nobody's like fast forwarding, I hope. I hope they're not fast forwarding. Where the hell is it? Do you have certified hosting?
I know.
You know what? If you want worry-free hosting, how about you have a site,
We like
right?
worry-free,
You
yeah.
need to go to certified hosting. Let me just direct this right to you.
Thank you.
I'm going to have an intervention here. I've been to your site.
Yes.
You need
It's
a little
good
help.
site.
It's a great site. I'm just making that up like I made up Genghis Blues. Worry-free hosting, it starts now. Sign up for unlimited hosting. Promo code Laugh It Off. Huge discount for signing up. So go to certified hosting. Is it certifiedhosting.com?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is, certifiedhosting.com. Oh, there's the little logo.
code.
There's the promo code and everything. Let's get out of the way here. Let's show that.
Laugh it
Okay.
off.
All right.
Laugh it off.
We're off.
Hey, we're out of here, and we hope you have a wonderful week. What's my send-off now? My sign-off? Giggity boop? Pa-pa! That's not it. Damn it, I'm trying to come up with one. I need something that people go, that's Craig Shoemaker's show. That's his sign-off. That's no good either. That's something for my children. I'll come up with one. See you next week.
Good. That was super interesting. I love it.
upcoming shows to the John Lovitz Vodcast Network.
Welcome to FYI. It's Dimitri Young here with Robert Fick. Hey everybody, welcome to Talking Marijuana.
Hi everybody, Crabman's Rock and Roll Revival featuring Frazier Smith is on the air, in your hair, and going out everywhere around the world.
I'm Gary Garver, live from the John Lovitz Comedy Club.
This is the John Lovitz Vodcast Network.
Hi, John Lovitz here. It's time to put laughter back into your life. Check out the John Lovitz Comedy Club, located in the heart of Universal Studios City Walk, Los Angeles, not Orlando. For tickets, go to thejohnlovitzcomedyclub.com.
You are listening to the John Lovitz Vodcast Network.